There we are.
Fine.
Uh-oh, YouTube
Alrighty.
says it's not connected. Hold on. It says there was a problem connecting to YouTube. Let me double check
Okay.
what's going on. We might have to end and restart. Hold on. Oh no. It says we're live. Um, Hi folks. 1 second while I figure out if YouTube's actually getting us. Go ahead, Dee, if you want to chit chat.
All right. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Today is Friday,
They got
February
us.
20th, 2026. A little bit after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank God it's Friday. That's all I have to say.
Amen.
For some reason, it seems like the week kind of went fast, but then it kind of dragged.
Yeah. It did go
And
by fast
it
if you
has,
think about it.
yeah. And we've had up to 50-mile-hour winds. In they're saying that they're wind gusts, but at 12:30 last night the storms hit, and I'm telling you, one lightning strike hit right above my bed in the skylight, and I thought I was going to be zapped.
Oh my
Uh,
god, I can believe it. Hi, Blue Rose. Just, well,
hey,
she's
Blue.
there.
Yeah. So, uh, it was pouring down rain, thunder, lightning, and then it was 51 degrees, which is unheard of in February for my
Your
area.
area. Oh
And
god, yeah.
yes, and then the winds started, and it was, I'm telling you, the cats were on point, the dog was on point, the baby was looking out the window. uh
I
I
can't
don't
blame
know
any
how
of
much.
them.
I don't know how much damage to the trees and that. I'll have to look in the morning. It finally has calmed down a little bit. Uh, and then we're supposed to get freezing weather. So go
Of
figure.
course. Why
Hmm.
not?
As our friend Blue Rose likes to say, wait, who says that it's crack weather? And she
Oh,
says
that's
that
me.
it's,
I call it the
she
crack
says
flakes from the
bipolar.
sky.
Yeah, you call them crack flakes, and she says, Texas has bipolar weather. So I think we might have both, maybe. I don't know.
It makes sense. I
Uh,
mean, the world is coming in some weird weather, and, Bible kind of predicted some of this stuff.
uh-huh. Well, I'd rather have this crazy weather than a flood or fire.
That's
I'd
true,
rather
too.
be just, yeah, I'd rather just be zapped. You know what I mean? Like just,
Poof, gone.
we just get, yeah, poof, gone. I don't want to drown, and especially, I don't want to be burned. So,
True.
I
Blue
think
Rose
getting
says
burned
that's
is going to
normal
hurt.
here, D. 50 plus mile per hour winds.
I it's I can't believe uh I mean, I know that Blue and I've talked about, because they have tumbleweeds in the area, and I always laugh saying, I can't imagine a tumbleweed just rolling just like you see in the cowboy movies, just going down the road, you
But
know.
they do. They
I know.
absolutely do, and it's wild
Uh,
sometimes. Some of the
uh-huh.
damage that can happen from them. They're not
Yeah.
little dust balls bouncing around. I hear, quite dangerous.
Yes, they are. So, yeah, I can't with all the dead foliage and all of that, it's going to be interesting to go out. Leaves were swirling, and it was pretty crazy. So,
Yeah, I
anyway,
did have to go out today earlier in the day. Ended up hitting Hobby Lobby and getting Jazz her art easel so she could
oh,
smile and do
did
some
you?
painting. Yep, Deanie
Okay.
got off work really early, like super early, so we were able to make it to Bowling Green and back today. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, art easel originally $30. We got it for 12.99.
Oh, get out.
Nope,
That's a good,
dead on serious. So yep, we had to get it.
excellent. you couldn't beat that. You couldn't make it for that much money.
No, especially with the 40% off clearance on the whole store, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to send Eric and Jake there over the weekend, see if there's any
Any
art
model
supply
cars they
deals.
want to do, any art supplies, yeah, have
Yep.
them go. Because in my area, they're doing a 40% off
Yeah, they
on
have
things.
markers and pens and paints and all of that
Oh,
on
yeah.
sale.
One of my favorite stores to go to, even though
Yeah,
I'm
I've
not
never
very
been in there.
artsy. Oh, it's a lot of fun going
Oh,
there.
get
Well,
this. You want to hear a story? So Eric's doing that big job that I told you about that they were almost done. They converted offices into two apartments, right? And then they had the freeze where the pipes all exploded and everything.
yeah, I remember hearing about that
They
one.
were okay, so they were laying down the carpet squares in the chiropractor's office. And he's the
Okay.
one that had the fish he's the one that had the exotic fish tank that
Oh, the one
had to
that I said to
be
put a bucket heater in,
yes, ma'am. Yes. So
cooked fish.
they were working on one half of the room and then they had to move over all that heavy equipment, the tables, whatever. So there's a certain type of glue that they put on the floor. The glue changes color, and then that tells you that you can lay the carpet down.
Hmm.
In walks a 90-year-old woman. She walks through the glue and then walks all through the new carpet they had just
Oh,
laid
hell
with
no.
glue on her feet. Well, hell no didn't
No.
cut it, Crazy B. He
Oh,
well,
no,
I'm
no.
a little bit I'm a little bit perturbed with him because he was MFing a 90-year-old woman, but she was giving him some serious blowback, so he was really pissed. So he tells her to get out, and she leaves. And what does she do? She walks back through the glue and goes through this like front area that wasn't damaged. And then they had this carpet. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten all the details, but there was carpet on the sidewalk uh, to prevent ice, and the clients could wipe their feet. He got
Hmm.
glue all on the outside too.
Oh,
So
I'd
I
be
got a
pissed.
oh yeah, I don't know how bad things are, if they were able to get it up or if they have to rip up what they laid down, or this place I think it might be cursed. Maybe I'll have to have an exorcism down there because remember he also was drilling and they drilled through a pipe and water went everywhere, and it's just been like a clusterfuck. uh I can't wait till they get this job done. It's like they're not meant to leave. So
I get it.
pretty
I got a
pretty put
question for Vanilla
on.
Pie, really quick. You say you have an ex
Yeah.
in Bowling Green, but there's also like a Bowling Green in a few states. So depending on which state it is,
Uh-huh. Oh, and good evening, Art. Good evening,
in Vanilla,
Vanilla.
yep.
Glad you could join us.
And with the tariffs, I couldn't build
Yep.
that art easel with $30 exactly. So when
Yep.
we got it for 12, I'm not mad at all.
Uh-huh. Really? That's a good buy. So what else is going on? Anything?
Eh, not much here. No, it's just been a long day. A lot of things got done. My hands
Yep.
hurt. My brain hurts. My knees hurt.
My head hurts. Yep. Going on 3 days with this same damn headache. I don't know why I can't get rid of it. So wish me luck tomorrow. I'm gonna what'd he say?
Vanilla, all of them. I'm a baller like that.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
Oh, so
No, that's
today I guess would be
Oh, go ahead.
considered. I was going to say today I guess could be considered a good day. The rat slept from 10:30 till I woke him up at 3:05.
That's what a good solid 5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Almost. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's just kidding. In Kentucky. Okay. That's the
because
closest city to us, so that's where we go for when we need everything.
but I spent 40 minutes chasing him around the house, around the island, up and down the hall. He made it all the way to the office, and there's a step down into the office, and there's two step downs to the living
Mm-hmm.
room. So he got to the office, and there's boxes and all kind of stuff is in there to get organized, and the desks are in there, and
Not a kid's
uh,
playground.
it's not, and it was dark, because of the weather. So I can't get to him fast enough. So I'm like, whatever happens, happens. If he's gone down the step, uh, and he's gotten all the way down, and then he decides he's going to roll over and crack the back of his head. Then he went down and decided, oh, I'm going to do a face plant and bumped his head. Then I was like, well, if he goes into the office, that step is a little bit higher than the ones in the living room. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, I think he might get jacked up on this one. And he stops and he looks in and he sees how dark it is. And you could just see the look on his face. He goes like, nah, I'm not going in
Turns
there.
around and
And
walks
he
back.
turned around and he came back down the hall. But by the time I got him to bed, I was sweating from chasing him back and forth, up and down. I mean, I was just everywhere. We were, I let the dog out twice. He's like right up, like a dog, right up underneath my legs, trying to get outside. And I'm like, oh God,
No,
help
you're
me.
not.
Uh huh. And I'm trying to grab him because I cannot, pick him up and carry him. So I'm grabbing him under either armpit. I'm grabbing him by the back of his diaper and his pants and trying to pick him up and spin him around. And he's just, oh, I'm telling you, he's going to be the
And
death
if
of
you
me.
remember 6 months ago when he was 3 months old and itty bitty,
Mm
and
hmm. Mm hmm.
you said he was a pain in the butt right then, and I also said, hold on to your hat, wait till he learns to start moving himself.
Uh huh. Yeah,
You're
wait
going to
till he
think back to
starts
that, and he was
walking.
an angel, just a whiny angel,
I know.
compared to now.
I know. Yep. He was in the fireplace. He's pulling the tray and that in and out, and he's at the entertainment center. I had to buy magnetic uh, locks so that, he keeps opening the doors and touching his fingers. And
Mm-hmm.
he, uh, go lay
He's a
down, go tell
handful.
daddy. Yes, he is. So uh, I'm worn out. Go see daddy. Don't start.
Art says
He,
youngsters
here we
have
go.
the capacity to recover from brain damage. Don't sweat it, D.
And
My
then,
cousin had 9 concussions before he was 6 years old. You're good.
oh God, I'm
Mm-hmm.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he's taken to he's grinding his teeth already, and I'm like dying. And
Mm-hmm.
because he's getting, 2 and 3 of them in at a time, so
Mm-hmm.
his mouth is really hurting. So to hear that, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yes, I can't stand it.
And oh, it just sends a chill through your spine when he does it. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you learn so little to grind? He's kind of like,
It's
and
just
then,
a typical movement that he realized helps soothe his teeth and
uh-huh,
get the other ones
yep.
through.
Hmm. Yeah, Jake didn't do any of this. He definitely is Jake was like a really good and easy baby. This one is kind of like the spawn of Satan, I think.
Well, looking back, Jake was easy. I bet you didn't think it 100% of the time when he was actually little.
No, he was a piece of cake. He really was. He was a good baby. He's a good kid now. And I think JJ's going to
Jameson's going to be the
be, I think,
handful.
yes, he's going to give us a run for our money.
Hang on to
I
your
think I'm going to have
hats.
to Oh, shit, I'm gonna have to get the belt out probably. The belt or the paddle. Yep.
Well, I mean, he is the future dictator of Guatemala, so
Mhm.
my
We gotta
son
get him.
deemed it.
Gotta get him. Mhm. So we gotta get that in him now. So
Hmm.
and Jake can
I
be
think
his
it's a great
bodyguard,
idea.
I guess. Yeah,
Jake
Jake
could
can be
just,
his
no,
bodyguard.
remember, Jake's the dictator of the Congo, remember?
This is true. This is true.
He gets the Congo,
Yep.
and JJ gets Guatemala.
Yeah.
So
So
they can pretty
we
much
were at the
rule
doctor's.
continents.
Yeah, we were at the doctor's last night and we didn't get the injections because I'm running a fever and they think I have an infection, so they wouldn't do it. So I gotta wait till now June since we're gonna have surgery in a couple weeks.
Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna go to tomorrow or Monday, I guess, and get all my testing, pre-op testing done. And I should be back by Wednesday to remember everybody, we're going to change our schedule up starting next week.
Hmm.
Although we're going to be supposed to be off on, so Monday and Wednesday, we're going to do 7 to 9. Tuesday and Thursdays will be 3 to 5. Fridays, we're going to be just dropping a video. However, this coming Friday, since that's going to be the Clintons testifying,
Hmm.
uh, and I believe Blue looked that up for us, and Hillary is Thursday, and Bill is Friday, I believe. If I have that
Hmm.
wrong, Blue, let me know. So, and it's supposed to be all day, Crazy Bee. So I don't know what time you want to go live. They're going to be long hearings, and they haven't said what time it starts. But
Okay.
uh, we were going to try to cover Thursday and Friday, at least some part of, we'll figure it
Yes.
out what we're going to do, but Friday will be live as well. So
Hmm.
uh, we'll figure out scheduling come Monday what we're going to do. Hopefully we'll know something by then.
Well, fingers crossed. And then now that we're not limited by FMUX's, you're only allowed to have 2 hours or 4 hours or whatever it was. We can
Mm-hmm.
stream as long as we need to or want to.
Right, right. Well, just be prepared. Well, the he's not been screaming like he was, so
Hmm.
you just might hear me screaming, that's all.
Yeah.
Get back
No, you
here.
can't climb that.
Yeah, don't touch that.
No climbing on the
Get back
stove. No
here.
climbing on the fridge. How
Yep.
did you get on that roof?
Yep. Keep the door locked so he can't get out, right?
Hmm. Just be glad you don't have a
Uh,
doggy door.
oh God. You know, it's bad enough he's under the table and under the high chair, and
Of
I
course,
have a
those are the best
stroller.
places to go.
I know I have a stroller, umbrella stroller that I use to take him outside.
Hmm.
Everything's manhandled. He can take one hand and move the pack and play. He's got the chairs underneath the island. He can move those. Oh, I'm telling you, I can't. Eric's like, put him on one of those kids' leashes that I've seen at the park. And I'm like, only if it's retractable. That
I
is a
would
good
say
idea.
choke collar around the waist.
There you go. There you go. With spikes on it, right?
Sure.
Uh, I'm still thinking the Velcro on the wall was the way to go that you've been saying since he was born.
Yes, it will make
But
your
we'll
life
get there.
easier.
So,
I'm telling you, Velcro
so if
suits
you
and
hear
Velcro
crying,
walls.
yeah, the
Oh,
only time you'll really hear him screaming is changing his diaper. So we'll
Vanilla Pie
see.
says 72-hour
But it
stream.
is,
When?
oh, please. I guess what that would be starting Wednesday, huh?
No, it'd be all of Thursday, all of Friday, and we could do we could do like a half Wednesday, half Saturday, and cram Thursday and Friday in the middle.
Ugh,
Eh,
my
I don't
head
believe
hurts
in those
already.
ridiculously
Oh,
long streams. Those are just overkill. Those are people
no.
just milking the system
Oh,
to get extra.
yeah. And Crazy Bee made a short that,
It's
oh, she's gonna get
adorable.
paid back for. It is
You
cute.
think it's bad, but
Yeah,
it
so
got quite a few likes. So I mean, views over on TikTok, and let's see, where is it at on YouTube? Let me see how many views. 56 views on YouTube with 2 comments. Who?
really?
Let's see who
Already?
commented. Uh huh.
I did.
Vanilla
Yeah.
and you. It says you had a camper. Can I move in? I will never forget this experience. And then it had how many?
Yep.
24 over on TikTok. And then the one I put up earlier got 92 views on TikTok. And the other short,
Yeah, I
hold on, let's
told.
go back to it. What was the other short? Oh, that one only got 2. Go figure.
Okay.
Well, so
Yeah, I think that
there's
might
that.
be our the key. The key to our success might be doing some short.
I've been trying to squeeze it in. It is, I got a lot to do. And I mean,
Mm.
between family, I
Oh,
have time to do this, but
oh,
family tends to interrupt.
I
So,
I gave you numerous
yeah, no
steps.
bathroom breaks, no naps that randomly take me. Uh huh.
Yeah, like one piece and get a short done. That's all. Don't eat. Skip breakfast or lunch.
I do that
Don't
already.
take those naps.
Believe it or not, I woke up, I
I
was
know.
getting my meds, and next thing I know, there's a plate in my face with 2 sandwiches on it. My daughter made me breakfast, and I didn't even have to ask her. Art says you could get a
That's
shock
good.
collar, but he might start to like it, which could lead to dating problems some years down the road.
Jeez.
And Blue says you're right. Hillary is on Thursday. Bill is on the 27th, Friday.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, and
Oh,
yes, that's funny. Uh,
oh God. Y'all got me
so
laughing way
speaking
too
of
hard here.
yeah, earlier in the week I was telling you guys about the chick that I babysat when
Uh huh.
we both were younger, and now apparently she's, I don't know what, I was on her Facebook page, and I haven't figured out what she is, but we had the argument, and that's what how our conversation, our whole, I think that was Wednesday, our whole plan
Mm
got
hmm.
hijacked by me when we started talking about the voting.
Uh huh.
Hold on one second, Eric. Why do I hear the dog outside but not Eric? Okay, so uh, she we were going back and forth and all her friends, and I was attacked, for being a right
Of
wing
course.
conspiracy, all of that happy
Nothing
horseshit.
but nothing, no credible argument, just name
Correct,
calling and emotions.
correct. And so, as Crazy B and I have, talked about all of this and all the research that we found, and Crazy B showed you guys the birth certificate, marriage licenses that,
It's not hard.
yeah, it's not hard. And then I found the Schumer back in the 90s was all for voter ID.
We have the
And then
video. It's
Tom,
in the lineup.
oh, it is?
You
Okay. And
sent it
we have
over.
Tom, I don't remember. Hey, you know what?
Actually, you sent it over
I,
last night, in the middle of the night. I woke up to
I don't remember. There's so much
it.
I've been doing, I can't remember which ends up. And then I think the sweetest piece for me is Tom Fenton with
Hmm.
5.3 million people so far that they've taken off the voter rolls that
Yep.
have been illegal. That so I went to take those two pieces
Mm-hmm.
and put into her comments where all this shit started, she took it down.
Yeah, too much blowback from
So it,
people who are telling her she's a dingbat for thinking such
yeah,
stupid shit.
her and her friends, the
Mm-hmm.
ones that attacked me, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That jumped all over me. It's gone.
Of
So I just
course.
posted it to my whole page. So
That only makes
we just,
sense, didn't you know?
uh-huh, yeah. So
It's
it's
funny how
on
that
the rather,
works.
right, right. So we're on the path to redemption, I guess.
Little by little.
Yep. But they estimate what, like 30, 25 to 30 million people they think are illegal, illegally
Uh-huh.
voting or illegally registered. We don't know if they're voting, but how would they know because they're not checking?
Exactly. No,
You
and
know,
that's
and
the
I
problem
told them.
with Michigan. They didn't check until after 2020 election.
Hmm.
And then they decided, oh, we need to go through the voter rolls because
Yeah,
whoopsie, we didn't do our job in advance. And now it's a disaster.
right. And I just
Yeah.
renewed. I told you, yeah, told you guys, I just renewed my driver's license at the end of January.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got up to, they had, you had two areas that you had to go to. And the wait, I was there for a total of 3 hours just trying to get my driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the second time that I had gone back. So once I got up to where you could get your photo ID, that's where they had a keypad and they asked you, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" Press one for yes, two for no.
Uh-huh.
And then the next question was, "Do you want to register to vote?" Press six, press seven. And I'm like, with no documentation of whether or not you're a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
That's how easy it is.
Yeah. That's basically what happened when my kids went in to get their IDs. Do you want to be a registered
Yeah.
voter? Yes. That was it.
Wow.
I mean, you figure you're going in to get your ID, so you have to present that stuff anyways. It would make sense that that would catch, like, but no, they still
No,
somehow,
but if what we're suggesting that you can purchase a birth certificate off of eBay
yeah,
and then think
we
about,
proved that that's a possibility
yeah,
because it is within the age
yeah,
scope of people
right,
alive. Well, no, we've
right.
a marriage license. It was a marriage license. I think there was some birth certificates maybe
Yeah, there were some
from.
birth certificates.
We didn't
Yeah,
show the birth. Oh no, I did. I looked up birth certificates while we were live, didn't I? Or was that
yeah.
before?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. But at one point, I did search birth certificates, and yes, there were birth certificates you could purchase on there
Mm-hmm.
as well,
Right.
with the raised seal. And I know
Yep.
some of them were still within the time frame. And it's basically people found this stuff in estate sales and are trying to find
Right.
or sell it back or whatever to the rightful person or family member or whatever their purpose is. But you could totally get a birth certificate and tweak it,
Well,
and it's scary.
we questioned when we'd covered New York with the illegals in the Roosevelt and the other hotel. Remember, they're working, uh,
Mm-hmm.
either selling, food somewhere, or they're driving those little mopeds and doing deliveries. And I
Mm-hmm.
think there were up as many as 20 people on one social security number,
Mm-hmm.
and the money was deposited into their account. So if
But they've done that for migrant
I,
workers too.
right, what, 20 have one social security number?
They pay in through use. It's easier than printing out a social security number for every migrant worker that comes here. They're not permanently here. If I remember correctly, when we were on the website looking into it, they have the social security has specific numbers that they put migrants on
Right.
and immigrant
But
like the migrant workers to pay
yeah,
into
but
the
it was
system still, so they're
right.
paying taxes in and then still able to send money home.
Right, but there was one social security number for 20 people.
Yes,
That
yes.
was the issue.
But they've been
That's
doing that
the
for
issue.
years because it's not
Well,
like
yeah,
it was. It's not like they took your social security number and have 20 people on
right.
it
I understand that, but I'm just saying you have 20 people with one social security number,
because they're not
and that,
permanent citizens.
right, but there, it's not being checked, is what I'm suggesting.
Oh, yeah.
At
But
the
that's been a
DMV.
practice for, well, it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's supposed to be this is a social security number used by migrants only. This should be a red flag.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see what Tom Fenton has to say about it, how they tracked it.
yeah, because it's again, like I said, that's been that way for decades, as far as I've been
Well, and
told.
that's what, right. And so we know that the this isn't new, right? We know that this whole issue of illegals voting isn't something that just happened in the last couple elections. It's been ongoing for decades now.
Art says
I'd
an
argue,
argument can be made that the motor voter laws were designed to get illegals registered to vote. Oops, we didn't notice he wasn't a citizen. It could be done on
right?
purpose. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, and
Hmm.
of course, Vanilla says, look at Obama's birth certificate. We've all seen that one. They are faking their way into our country, which has been happening forever. Yeah, unfortunately. But I also, like I said, I
Right.
understand why some people are desperate to get here, but you still got to do it the right way. I get it.
Hmm.
It's just, you got to do it right.
Well, I saw a video. I was going to pull it, but I didn't. I could always go back and get it by a black man saying that, if you're going to come to this country, you need to assimilate. You
Yes.
can keep your culture, but you still need to assimilate,
Which
and
means
you need to
accepting
respect,
others as well as us accepting them.
right? And you need to accept, uh, you know, you need to be an American. And
Hmm.
if your goal is to just come here and make money and send it back home and not assimilate and, wreak all kind of havoc here, he strongly suggests no matter who you are, what race you are, what color you are, what country you came from, why don't you make your own country great again?
Hmm.
Why don't you stay in your own country and make things better instead of coming here and bringing your shit over here?
It only makes
So,
sense.
mhm, I kind of agree with what he had to say.
Well, and I think it's a smart idea. Like, again, when the original immigrants came to this country, they had to assimilate or they would have
Mhm.
been sent back. Like, we will not tolerate this shit. And I think we need to go back to that. Enough of,
Yeah,
people who are not even citizens here trying to tell us how to run our country.
right.
And enough of this trying to force their religion and other beliefs on everybody else. Oh, I don't like women who don't cover their heads. Well, too bad. Don't look. Avert your
Mm.
eyes.
Or how short your skirt is.
Oh, I remember that from even when I was younger. Shit. Hand width above the knee or else.
Yep. Yep.
Vanilla Pie says they assimilate really well with our benefits, that's for sure. Uh
Yeah.
huh. Of
Yeah,
course.
and they shouldn't be allowed to. Well, if we want to be generous and perhaps give them 3 months worth of benefits, but not a lifetime. Here we'll help you get situated, and
That I can see for
but I
refugees, but people who are choosing to come here,
yeah,
like,
illegally they right. I don't
no,
think they
even
should get
legally.
anything.
If you're coming here legally and you are coming from a decent area in another country, you've got money to obviously
Right.
pay your way in. But, like, again, the refugees where there's an act of war. or they are being oppressed for their religious beliefs, I can absolutely see helping them. Anybody else, pay your way in and make sure you have a job when you get here. Too bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
with the internet,
you
there
know,
is no reason you can't have a job before you land in America.
yeah, and even I'm getting to be real, starting to feel a certain way about the whole religion persecution angle, because we could then technically take in thousands of people,
Well,
claiming that I'm being persecuted religiously
if you
when,
look at the people in Sudan and Nigeria, or not Nigeria,
Mhm,
what was the other one, where they're actively killing Christians, that's
yes,
one
in
thing.
South Africa, right? But that should be something that the United States should intervene, like Trump is right now,
Would we want
saying
someone to
that,
come in and intervene with us because they don't like how we run things? Let's say they don't like us having freedom of religion, so they come in and they tell us we have to. They intervene with us.
but why is it that we would take in all of their Christians then, because they're persecuting them instead of
There's other
stopping?
countries too. We don't have to just take
I
all of
know,
them. But
I
the
know, but
point
I'm
is,
just
because the second we start going in and telling them how to run the country, we are no better than the dictators there. And we
well,
saw that didn't
it's
work with Saddam Hussein and all the others.
right. Well, it's the responsibility of the people that live there. Is it the United States' responsibility to take them all in?
I mean, if
That's
it's
the
only for
question.
temporary, like again, not the 30-year temporary status, five,
Okay,
ten
well, that's what
years.
happened with, okay, that's with Somalia. That's an
And
example.
we
So
also
they're
know
here
how
for
many
10 years.
Democrats and corrupt people were letting it slide for so long.
Right,
And that's why Trump put an end to it. No more.
right. But what happens at the 10-year mark? Do they
Bye.
stay or do they get sent back?
Well, they have the entire 10 years to figure out if they want to stay or not and start the process.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying we got to support them the whole time. Get them in 3 months. You better have a job. And then by the end of the 3 months, not a big deal. Find a place to live within that 3 months as well. Or
yeah.
even
And
give them
who's
an
going to
extra
be,
month and a half to earn the money for a down payment or a
yeah.
deposit for rent.
The problem is, I don't think we have enough staff to keep that in check, you know?
We have more than enough staff in our federal government. They
Yeah,
just choose to not utilize things in a smart and efficient way.
yeah. I don't know, Crazy B. I just, hmm,
I like this.
that's a
If you
tough
wanted
one.
to immigrate to the United States, you have to have someone sponsor you. They were they if you no this is must if you wanted to immigrate, this is past tense. You had to have someone sponsor you. They were 100% responsible for taking care of you if you didn't have a job. Not sure when that ended, might just be ignored.
Hmm.
I remember hearing about that too, the sponsors.
Yeah, let's
It
do
was
a quick,
I I don't remember when that ended. I know I heard about it back in
yeah,
the 80s and 90s when I was itty bitty, but I don't remember when. Sent to no man's
yeah,
land
me.
after. Again, I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving an option and a temporary where they can choose to stay or go back after so long, but they have to work on the
Well,
process. They have to be efficient. They have to be doing their
once you're,
jobs.
right, but once you're here, who's going to go back in 10 years? And what's their country of origin look like at the 10-year mark?
And they have
Like,
10 years to earn the
so
money to
here's,
pay to become an American citizen. I mean,
right,
if they're
and here's,
efficient and smart about it, it works.
right, and here, hey, cannabis,
Hi, cannabis.
here's the, here's the other interesting piece is, take a look at Somalia. They sent so much money back home that they actually have
And
rebuilt. Yeah,
they
uh-huh.
could have rebuilt Somalia into an amazing place, but it's still a shithole.
Yeah, but they're still building brand new areas with the money that was sent back.
But is it benefiting anyone besides the dictator running the show or the
Probably not.
warlord? Okay,
Probably not.
there's the problem.
Yeah.
This is my point, and I will hold to it. If they want to, they had those people, those refugees from Somalia, had 30 freaking years to become a citizen.
Yes.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Now they're bitching about having to leave. I'm sorry.
Well,
30
that goes
years.
for yeah. Yeah, that goes for any of them.
Art says, I had family who sponsored other family in the late 1800s and or early 1900s. It was the law, so as far as I know, yeah, it might have changed, it might not have, and it just like
No,
how Congress loves to
I'm looking
ignore
it
them.
up. I have it
Yep.
I have it right here.
And
I
then they
have it right
rewrite
here. It
that
says,
shit 10 years later to get more federal funding for bullshit. Anyways, go ahead. What was it?
okay, so if you're going to try to get a green card, most people immigrating require a financial sponsor, typically a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. The sponsor must prove that they can support you at 125% of the federal poverty guidelines, which that isn't much.
No,
Uh, if a
it's not
family
much.
member petitions for you, they are usually required to be your financial sponsor. It can be employment based, or you can self sponsor in limited cases if you have an extraordinary ability. And I guess that would be when Trump is going to announce that next week that there are aliens. So maybe you fall under that category.
Yeah, I don't get me started. Come on, seriously.
Yeah, I'm,
Now, look, if there's aliens, great. Hope they annihilate us. Anyways,
well, I, when I was little, I didn't, I can remember having a conversation walking to my grandmother's house with my mother, and it was quite a way. It was a long walk for four little kids to take, but I can remember her saying that the universe is so big we cannot be the only people in it.
I've held to
So
that too. It only makes
yeah,
sense that somewhere out there is other life. It just we
yeah,
may never meet them. That is a
uh, I
probability.
agree. Right. So exceptions to that rule are refugees, asylees, and victims of abuse. They often don't require the financial sponsor. Uh,
I'm sure there's some kind of level of responsibility, like they have to find a job within so many weeks or
yeah,
whatever.
let me pull this up. There's an affidavit of support, but all that is saying that you'll support them above the poverty level. That's
Amen,
all.
cannabis. Aliens, please take me to your planet. This one is cooked. Oh my god.
So all these people that are bitching about uh, supporting illegals, what is the poverty level? Let me see how much that is.
Or well, yes, if you are want to immigrate and you're a millionaire, there's no problem. But flat broke from El Shido Stan, no, not so much. I love El Shido Stan. That's a great one.
There you go.
I'll bring the
Okay, so
cannabis.
so the poverty level right now is $15,650. So
Oh wow.
that's got to be, yeah, that's nothing. That's got to be at 125%.
So
So for all the,
125,000 give or take a year to bring in an immigrant.
no, less than that. 120, it's 125% of the 15,650.
15,000. So
Yeah, 15,650.
right around 100,000 a year then.
Yeah. So uh For all you people complaining, take somebody, just if you don't want them in your house, cough up the money.
Yeah, sponsor them. I see
Hmm.
nothing wrong with it.
Right?
I seriously, like, again, they give a pathway to legally come here, but yet people are like, nope.
Crazy B, am I doing the math wrong?
For what?
So if it's 15,650 times 125%, you're saying it's $100,000?
It should be 100,000 a year, right around
Why is my
100,000,
math
maybe a little over.
why is my math off so much?
What's yours saying?
I don't want to tell you. Why do I have 19,562?
That's not
So 15,
125% of a 15,000.
yeah, if you're
Hold on, let me
wait,
pull up a
I-
calculator.
that's what I'm doing right now. Wait, did I add that wrong? 15,650 times 125%. Mm,
Nope. Ah, my calculator's set up funny. Not basic, advanced calculator. Um,
Here we go. Math on Friday night.
no, I just got 19,562 as well. That don't make sense. Yeah, yeah, it's 15K a year times 125% should be closer to 100,000, not
How are you getting
20,000.
that? How are you getting that?
Well, it's 100 times, so it should be at least 150,000 if it was 100%.
I don't know about that, crazy people. We need help. We need help in the
Anyone
chat.
better at math than me?
And me.
It seems like it should be more.
No, it's 125% of the poverty level. So you got the 15,650 is what they would, that's the
That's the
100%,
100%, and then plus
right?
25%
And then,
more. Oh, yeah,
right, get
that
you
makes
at
sense.
19,562.
How the fuck are you going to afford that on poverty level? We're above poverty level, barely, in the middle
That's
class. I couldn't take on any cannabis. Ask Chat GPT. I don't ask AI anything. I hate AI.
cannabis. You can ask for her because she won't let me use Chat GPT or any other AI program.
Yeah, serve in the military is a great way to get citizenship in the United States.
Oh,
I'm
fuck
a
no.
dead
I don't want them in
serious.
my military. I don't want them in the military. Let them do road work or
Well,
cleaning
for like
parks
the
and stuff
people
like that.
who can't necessarily afford it, genuinely need to get out of the country they're in for some reason, military is a great option.
Right? Nah, I don't want any illegal
They're
being in
not
charge of
illegal.
my security.
They're
Nope.
not illegal. That is a
Uh,
path to
I,
citizenship that's been on the records for over a century.
I know it is. I know it is. But I don't know. I'd rather see them do something else than be responsible for our
Art says it's about 19K.
okay, so
Okay, yeah, my brain's just malfunctioning tonight. I think it should be higher, but anyways.
but the poverty level is when you're going to apply for a lot of these programs, this is what the government has
What
established,
the
the
state where
15.
I live, what the state where I live, it's they want to say 60% of poverty level. Um,
Okay.
so it's like 40,000 in my area. We are just a smidge above.
Mhm.
That's the poverty level for our area because no, it's 60% of the median income is what they say is poverty level for our
Right.
area, and the median income is about 100,000 a year. So 40K is that bit.
Yes. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I almost spit out my drink on what cannabis
Don't use
said.
2 plus 2 equals 5. Thank you, cannabis. I've never been really good at math in my like. I can give a ballpark estimate sometimes, but let's remember my pain levels are up today. So we're gonna excuse my math today.
All right, I won't give you any more problems then.
No more math.
Okay, no more
Geometry,
math.
maybe if I need to, figure a couple angles and corners, I can totally do that.
All right. All right, let's get started.
We just spent the last hour trying to figure out, well, chit chatting and then some math. Uh,
There you go.
all right. Well, first up is um this that you see over here. You can still see, right?
And yeah, and that
Okay.
is the Supreme Court struck down Trump's tariffs. Oh, it
Cannabis
makes
G,
me
I'm
want
a
to
tree.
scream.
Oh my god, my ribs hurt. I had to turn on my electric blanket to warm my ass up. It is so cold right now. And you got
I
me
know.
laughing over here with back spasms and
I have the heater going and I'm on the heating pad and I'm fucking freezing.
I'm under
Uh,
that a blanket and on an electric blanket. I'm good at math. I've just learned to never do math live on the fly. It doesn't seem to end well.
no, no, it doesn't. Not when, especially when you when we're so far off. You're like, it's a. Well, you started out it was 125,000, then you went down to 100, and I'm like, what is she talking about? I don't even want to say I got 19 something. I'm like, we're
No,
way
please
off.
do because I am way off, not you. It was me who
Uh,
was off. My
uh,
brain's off
okay.
today.
I don't
Like
know.
the
Hey, it
supreme.
could be me.
No, it's me.
Oh, it's funny.
Oh,
All right,
anyways,
so guess
back to the
what?
tariffs. Let me scroll down.
Okay, so yeah, we're not going to go through. Is that a? Can we hit
Yes, I
play and
can
listen to
play.
this?
Yes, I hope
Okay.
so. We're about to find out.
Supreme Court strikes down Trump tariffs. Joseph Addington. In a
If you
major
can't hear
reversal
it,
for
let
the
me
Trump
know.
administration,
I
the
can't
Supreme
hear it.
Court struck
You
down
can't?
Friday most of President
I can
Donald
hear it,
Trump's.
but it's low. Can you turn the volume up?
I don't know. Nope, no volume control over here.
Okay.
Sweeping tariffs, ruling that his
Yeah, nope,
reliance on the
volume control.
International Emergency Economic Powers Act was unlawful. The justices held that the 1970 statute, which permits presidents to regulate imports during national emergencies, does not authorize imposing tariffs. Trump, who had invoked emergencies over fentanyl and trade deficits to justify tariffs on nearly every country, had called the case among the most consequential in U.S. history. The ruling leaves sector-specific tariffs intact. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the opinion for the court, joined by Associate Justices Amy Coney Barrett, Neil Gorsuch, Ketanji Brown Jackson, Elena Kagan, and Sonia Sotomayor. Associate Justice Brett Kavanaugh, joined by Associate Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, dissented, arguing tariffs are a traditional tool to regulate imports. The decision is expected to trigger refund claims by companies seeking to recoup billions paid under the invalidated tariffs. While the court's ruling eliminates the IEEP as a means for justifying tariffs, that doesn't mean the president is out of options. Trump could still attempt to implement tariffs on the basis of other laws, although those efforts would also be subject to litigation.
Okay, well, that's the end of that.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple other articles and a video. So
I can jump to
from
Trump's
what,
video of complaining about it.
yeah, isn't there another article though, Crazy Bee, before that?
Um, you sent
Or
over
no,
this one.
there's a couple. There's two. There's a video from Trump and two
Through
tropes.
social
Yeah,
posts. Here's,
two
I get what you
tropes
mean.
socials. Thank you. Which are rather long. And cannabis, he was on. Common was on Lady Hamilton's show, and then I did have a conversation with him, and wow, he's busy. Let's put it that way.
Yes, I do know he's been exceedingly busy.
So it's going to be a while till he gets back. So,
Hmm.
and that's why we kind of decided to go from 7 to 9. We were going to try to suck his viewers in, but that didn't work out too well. And then I just can't hang 7 to 9, 4 days a week. So
Yeah.
it's just a little bit difficult. But so the gist here is Trump is pretty pissed off, and he wrote two Truth Social posts, and then at 12:45 he went on a live for close to 45 minutes, which he kind of called them names. So he says that the ruling is deeply disappointing. I am ashamed of certain members of the court for not having the courage to do what is right for our country. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for your strength, wisdom, and love of our country, which is right now very proud of you. When you read the dissenting opinions, there is no way that anyone can argue against them. Foreign countries have been ripping us off for years, are ecstatic, and dancing in the streets. But they won't be dancing for long. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no against anything that makes America strong and healthy again. They also are a disgrace to our nation. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before far too often with certain members of this court when, in fact, they're just fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and radical left Democrats, and not that this should have anything to do with it, very unpatriotic and disloyal to the Constitution. It is my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would think, but obnoxious, ignorant, and loud. This was an important case to me, more as a symbol of economic and national security than anything else. The good news is that there are methods, practices, statutes, and other authorities, as recognized by the entire court and Congress, that are even stronger than the IEEPA tariffs available to me as President of the United States of America. And in actuality, I was very modest in my ask of other countries and businesses because I wanted to do nothing that could sway the decision that had been rendered by the court. And then this goes on about the stock market and the S&P, those numbers increased.
Yeah.
Um, he then says, to show you how ridiculous the opinion is, the court said that I'm not allowed to charge even $1 to any country under IEEPA. I assume to protect other countries, not the United States, which they should be interested in protecting. But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country, even imposing a foreign country destroying embargo and do anything else I want to do to them. How nonsensical was that? They are saying that I have the absolute right to license, but not the right to charge a license fee. What license has ever been issued without the right to charge a fee? But now the court has given me the unquestioned right to ban all sorts of things from coming into our country, a much more powerful right than many people thought we had. Our country is the hottest anywhere in the world, but now I am going in a different direction, which is even stronger than our original choice, as Justice Kavanaugh wrote in his dissent. Although I firmly disagree with the court's holding today, the decision might not substantially constrain a president's ability to order tariffs going forward. That is because numerous other federal statutes authorize the president to impose tariffs and might justify most, if not all, of the tariffs issued in this case. And then he lists the statutes.
He
And he
basically
thanks
gave those to Trump despite the
Yes, he
court.
did.
He literally told Trump how to get around the court ruling.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, I do think that they may have known. I don't know if they knew about it or they didn't, but I'm impressed that he gave it to him.
I'm sure he did
Um,
this on purpose.
well, so they go on, and then he says, therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs, Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs remain in place and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we are also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices. Okay, what
Interesting.
else?
Well, that's it for that one. And I'm wondering if that
Okay.
second piece. Oh, nope, here's another one. Wait, isn't
Okay,
this
so
this
right
is the
after,
same one he already put? You just read this. It was
no, there's
attached to his other one.
okay, there should be there should be another piece that goes with that crazy bee. No?
No, this is you literally this is his one
Okay, hold up.
that you just
All
read
right.
that was attached right
Why
here.
don't you Okay, hold up, because there is something amiss then. All right, why don't you play the video while I pull up the other piece that he said then?
Okay.
Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs are existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. I think that foreign interests are represented by people that I believe have undue influence. They have a lot of influence over the Supreme Court, whether it's through fear or respect or friendships. I don't know. But I know some of the people that were involved on the other side, and I don't like them. I think they're real slime balls. And
Oh Lord.
doing
Anyone he
right for
doesn't
the
agree
country. You
with,
got to
but
do what's
okay.
right for the Constitution.
Well, you
The
know what?
Supreme Court's
I'm
ruling
gonna
on
just argue
tariffs.
that
Say it again.
even though he is the president and I'm gonna argue that even though he is the president and should conduct himself a little bit better. Oh, what about the freedom of speech? You know,
I
nobody
know. I just
begins
find it
talk about him.
immature. Oh, I don't care. Well, I mean,
I
like I
know,
said,
so
he
do
can talk
I.
how
I'm
he
just
wants. I just
saying.
find it immature. It's an eye roll moment. No, I'm not saying he's not allowed to insult people. It's just kind of a eye roll. Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here. I was
Oh,
just, yeah, you're fine. Go ahead.
it sounded like you cut out.
Oh,
I
okay.
I apologize.
Is
No, we're fine.
deeply
That's interesting,
disappointing.
but
What's interesting?
nothing that they're popping up the same, even though they're different. That's okay. Go ahead, Crazy B. Sorry.
Okay.
And I'm ashamed of certain members of the court absolutely ashamed for not having the courage to do what's right for our country. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom and love of our country, which is right now very proud of those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way.
Well, yeah, because of the Supreme
Foreign
Court.
countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long, that I can assure you. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, like in Congress, automatic no.
Not all of them, but
They're
some.
against anything that makes America strong, healthy. And
He's
great.
forgetting about Fetterman.
They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. For an automatic no, no matter how good a case you have, it's a no. Can't knock their loyalty. One thing can do some of our people. Others
It's
think
not
they're
our
being
people and their
politically
people.
correct,
We're all Americans,
which has
but
happened before far too often.
some hate us,
Members
some
of this
don't.
court, and it's happened so often with this court. What a shame. Having to do with voting in particular. When in fact they're just being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats, and not that this should have anything at all to do with it. They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution. My opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would ever think. It's a small movement. I won by millions of votes. We won in a landslide. With all the cheating that went on, there was a lot of it, but we still won in a landslide. Too big to rig. But these people are obnoxious, ignorant, and loud. They're very loud. And I think certain justices are afraid of that. They don't want to do the right thing. They're afraid of it. This was an important case to me, more as a symbol of economic national security. And also, I would say, for our country itself, so important, because we're doing so well as a country. We've never done so well. The good news is that there are methods, practices, statutes, and authorities as recognized by the entire court in this terrible decision, and also as recognized by Congress, which they refer to, that are even stronger than the IEEPA tariffs available to me as President of the United States. And in actuality, I was very modest in my ask of other countries and businesses because I wanted to do, and it's very important, I wanted to be very well behaved because I wanted to do anything, I didn't want to do anything that would affect the decision of the court, because I understand the court. I understand how they're very easily swayed. I want to be a good boy. I have very effectively utilized tariffs over the past year to make America great again. Our stock market has just recently broken 50,000 on the Dow, and simultaneously, and even more amazingly, broken 7,000 on the S&P, two numbers that everybody thought upon our landslide election victory could not be attained. Think of that. Nobody thought it was possible to do it within 4 years, and we did it in 1 year. They said, you'll never be able, you'll go back and you read geniuses, read their statements, all of the Nobel Prize winners in economics. They said, no, you couldn't do it in 4 years. Well, we didn't do it in 4 years. We did it in 1 year. We broke every record in the book, and we're continuing to do so. Tariffs have likewise been used to end 5 of the 8 wars that I settled. I settled 8 wars, whether you like it or not, including India, Pakistan, big ones, nuclear, could have been nuclear. Prime Minister of Pakistan said yesterday at the great meeting that we had, Peace Board, said yesterday that President Trump could have saved 35 million lives by getting us to stop fighting. They were getting ready to do bad things. But they've given us great national security, these tariffs have. And together with our strong borders, reduced fentanyl coming into our country by 30%. When I use them as a penalty against countries illegally sending this poison into our country, poison our youth. All of those tariffs remain. They all remain. I don't know if you know that or not. They all remain. Still getting them. We will after the decision. There's nobody left to appeal to. But again, those three people, such respect. Had a lot of respect for them anyway, but such great. What other alternatives will now be used to replace the ones that the court incorrectly rejected? We have alternatives. Great alternatives. Could be more money. We'll take in more money and we'll be a lot stronger for it. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We'll continue to do so. To show you how ridiculous the opinion is, however, the court said that I'm not allowed to charge even $1. I can't charge $1. Can't charge $1. I would have used 1 penny, but we don't make the pennies anymore. We save money. Can't charge $1 to any country under IEPA. Not $1. I assume to protect other countries. This must have been done to protect those other countries. Certainly not the United States of America, which they should be interested in protecting. That's what they're supposed to be protecting. But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1. Because that's not what it says. That's not the way it even reads. I can do anything I want to do to them, but I can't charge any money. So I'm allowed to destroy.
I want to point out he can't do anything he wants to another country. There's such a thing as war crimes and stuff like that. So, he can't really do whatever he wants. There is some limits to it. I don't know if he realizes that, but yeah.
Well,
Destroy the
I
country.
mean, he is a dictator after all, so I guess he really can.
I mean, if you listen to the nut jobs, but we have a balance of powers for a reason. So, Art said, even if he had no alternatives, he'd never admit it. It's just the way he's weird. I don't know. Has Trump ever admitted he was wrong on something before?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
We'll have to find out. But
But I can't charge him a little fee. I could give him a little 2-cent fee, but I cannot charge under any circumstances. I cannot charge them anything. Think of that. How ridiculous is that? I'm allowed to embargo them. I'm allowed to tell them you can't do business in the United States anymore. We want you out of here. But if I want to charge them $10, I can't do that. Incorrect. Their
I think
decision's
that's
incorrect. But it
even
doesn't
more
matter.
dangerous than having the ability to charge them. You know what I mean? For example, could he just say, Hyundai, that just, well, they supposedly built a plant in Georgia, but we heard that that was mainly using illegals to work there. But could he take Toyota? Could he take anybody and
well,
say, "Hey,
Toyota's
get out
mostly
of"?
built in America. But I
But
get where
I
you're
mean,
going.
yeah, can he just say, "Get out of the country"?
Hmm. I believe so. I don't know if that takes Congress or not. And then you got to talk about the various states because the states have to authorize these businesses to work there as well.
I don't know.
I know he's trying to bring jobs in. That's why he worked with them. Um, I know my brain. Hold on. he was trying to bring jobs back from overseas, which is why he was working
Right.
with Hyundai to try and get things here. And I just noticed Brent up there. Hi, Brent. Sorry.
Hi, Brent.
But it's like he, I mean, we need the jobs here. That was the point in bringing these companies here. They were not supposed to hire illegals. They were supposed to hire Americans. So, maybe put that stipulation on there. You can only hire
Hmm.
American citizens. I mean, I don't just, it's kind of one of those things that I don't see. This is where I suck because I do not understand international law. That's not my forte. So I don't know. It really, I don't know. That's weird. I don't have, I need to look up more on this. Can he actually just tell a company to get the hell out? That's a good question. Anyone know the answer?
Say that again, Crazy B.
I hear something in your background. I wasn't sure if it was from a different device, but it kind of threw me off. I was saying if anybody knows whether or not he's allowed to just boot a company out of America, say so, because I have no clue.
That's what I'm looking up now.
Huh.
So the answer to your question on did he ever admit that he made mistakes?
Yeah. What's the
The
answer?
answer the answer is yes. In
Oh,
in hiring decisions.
in hiring decisions. Okay. That makes sense. We see some of the hiring mistakes he still makes today.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm loud. My daughter comes around just to tell me to not yell. Um,
So according to Wikipedia in the Washington Post, Trump has made over close to 31,000 false or misleading claims during his first presidential term, an average of 21 per day.
okay.
Commentators and fact checkers have described Trump as lying,
I
as
don't trust all those
unprecedented.
fact checkers.
Yeah, I know, as unprecedented in American politics.
Vanilla says he
Uh,
can't boot a company out if there's stocks in America, if it has stocks. Art says if a country were to dump a product into our economy, he could immediately halt trade with them. It's that sort of authority he has. Um, hmm. Let me see a few things. I'm looking up. Let me hit play so
yeah,
he can keep
go ahead.
talking. I see the Wikipedia article you sent over, and I will have that ready to pull up when we're done
Yeah,
with
I
this.
just wanna. Yeah, we won't go through the whole thing, but I wanted everybody to know what the IE uh, law was.
The
That's all.
the International Emergency Economics Power Act.
Yes, ma'am. That's what
Okay,
they. Yeah, that's what they said that he does not have the authority to do the tariff.
I will read through this. Really, just a brief cursory and get it ready.
Okay.
Because you have very powerful alternatives that have been approved by this decision. They've been approved by the decision for those that thought they had us. And they're saying that I have the absolute right to license, but not the right to charge a license fee. So think of that. I have the right to license, very powerful word. In many ways, license is more powerful than tariffs. In fact, I was thinking about using, but they came up with the idea that I can license, like the people that were opposing me told them to do, but not the right to charge a license fee. Think of that. Whoever heard of such a thing? What license has ever been issued without the right to charge a fee? You get a license, you charge a fee. It's automatic, but not with this court. But now the court has given me the unquestioned right to ban all sorts of things from coming into our country, to destroy foreign countries. But a much more powerful right than many people ever thought we even had, but not the right to charge a fee. How crazy is it? Our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world right now. It was a dead country 1.5 years ago under an incompetent president. But now I'm going to go in a different direction, probably the direction that I
He's starting to repeat
should have gone
himself.
the
Yeah,
first
so
time.
we
But
could stop
I-
there, Crazy B, if you want.
Yeah. I'll pull up that Wikipedia really quick. I gotta blind people for a moment. Sorry. Let me post the link in there.
So, with regard to Trump being able to remove foreign companies, if they do have stock, he can attempt to, based on auditing their records, he can get them kicked off the stock exchange. And once they get kicked off the exchange, then he can get rid of them out of the country.
Okay.
Now, the chances of that occurring are it's going to be a haul for him to pull off. So
Yeah.
the right now, the largest country that he's going to try to attempt to go after is going to be China.
Well, China is the biggest threat. I mean, to a
Right.
degree.
So any Chinese company that's on the US exchange, they have to show their books to US regulators. And right now Beijing has refused to grant access to inspect, citing their national security concerns. I'll
Okay.
send you over this article, Crazy B, and we can post it. We don't need to go through it all, but everybody can take a look at it. This is back from his first term.
Okay.
Okay.
So, according to this, in the United States, the IEEPA is Title 50, funny little symbol, 1701 through 1707. It authorizes the president to declare the existence of an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security, foreign policy, or economy of the United States that originates in whole or a substantial part outside of the United States. It further authorizes the president, as such, after such a declaration, to block transactions and freeze assets, to deal with the threat, and requires the president to report to Congress every 6 months on the circumstances, threat, and actions taken. In the event of an unusual attack on the United States, the president can confiscate property connected with a country, group, or person that aided in the attack. So technically, this does not say he can raise or put tariffs on people, because a tariff is a tax and only Congress can authorize taxes. This doesn't say
saying,
he can, according to the IEEPA, he cannot raise or lower tariffs with this act.
well, unless it's a national security risk.
That says he can only freeze or block them. It does not say he can raise a tariff on them or anyone else. Because I would sure love to know how France threatened us.
Mm-hmm.
Reading this, he does not have the right to do the tariffs the way he thought he did. And that's why Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh gave him the other alternatives. This was started in 1977.
Well, scroll through it. Let's look at the history of it. I just pulled it up, so I haven't had a chance to read through it.
Congress enacted that act in 1977 to clarify and restrict presidential powers during times of declared national emergency under the Trading with the Enemy Act of 1917. under the TWEA, starting with Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1933, presidents had the power to declare emergencies without limiting their scope of duration, without citing the relevant statutes, and without congressional oversight. The Supreme Court in Youngstown Sheet and Tube Company versus Sawyer limited what a president could do in such emergencies, but did not limit the emergency declaration power itself. A 1973 Senate investigated and found in Senate Report 93-549 that 4 declared emergencies remained in effect: the 1933 banking crisis with respect to hoarding of gold, the 1950 emergency with respect to the Korean War, a 1970 emergency regarding postal worker strikes, and a 1971 emergency in response to the government deteriorating economic and fiscal conditions. Congress terminated those emergencies with the National Emergencies Act and then passed the IEEPA to restore the emergency powers in a limited, overseeable form. And it began with Jimmy Carter in response to the Iran hostage crisis. Presidents have invoked the IEEPA to safeguard U.S. national security interests by freezing or blocking assets of belligerent foreign governments, or a certain foreign nationals abroad. In 1988, Congress passed amendments to the TWEA and IEEPA, authored by Representative Howard Bremen, a Democrat out of California, aimed to protect the rights of American citizens to receive information regardless of the country of origin of such materials used by exempting varied methods of communication from regulation. The revisions of both acts, known collectively as the Berman Amendment, restricted the president's authority to regulate or prohibit the importation of or exportation of various forms of printed audio and video materials, artwork and other images, and other informational materials found protected under the First Amendment. So basically, propaganda. They were trying to prevent propaganda from foreign countries from getting into the U.S., but then the internet came to be. So, the Department of Treasury, however, interpreted this exemption narrowly to claim it held the right to prohibit any transaction associated with informational materials not fully created and in existence at the date of the transaction. Okay. So, there's quite a bit more going forward through the 90s.
Drop down to where Trump is and what he did.
So Trump used the IEEPA extensively, sanctioning more than 3,700 entities and evoking 11 national emergency declarations out of the 13 that he declared overall, relying primarily or exclusively on this act. The IEEPA authority during his 2017 to 21 term. I didn't know he did that back then. I thought, what? I don't remember him doing that.
I don't.
Trump also used or threatened to use its powers in unconventional and unprecedented manners, including executive actions utilizing power under the act that prompted legal changes. On May 30th of 2019, the White House announced Trump would use said act powers to introduce tariffs on imports from Mexico in response to a national security threat of illegal immigration from Mexico into the United States. As part of an ongoing trade war with China, on August 24th of 2019, Trump tweeted that he hereby ordered the U.S. companies to start looking at alternatives to China on the basis of claimed powers under said act. Trump, however, did not formally declare an emergency that as required by the IEEPA.
Wonder
Then
if that's where they messed. I wonder if that's where they messed up back then. And I find it very difficult to believe that staff didn't know about this. So back on his first term, we know that people were deliberately trying to sabotage what he did,
yeah.
including members of Congress, right? So is it possible that he was given the wrong information? He was given everything, but oh, you didn't declare it a national emergency, so
Mm-hmm.
hence it's not legit.
Now,
And
see,
again,
go ahead.
but you know, you're supposed to have on staff the best, hopefully the best of the best that knows what's going on.
Well, he
I
thought
mean, we're
Fauci
just,
was the best. There, enough said
yeah,
for me.
true. I mean, we're just two people that are just looking at this for the first time, and we can see obviously, okay, look, you need to declare that this is an emergency, right? I
Uh-huh.
mean, and we don't even, and this is just a quick cursory glance, let alone we understand what the hell we're even talking about. But we know well enough that it says you need to make the declaration. And why wasn't it done? Who dropped the ball? Why wasn't it when he came in on the second term? Why didn't somebody pick that ball back up? Is it intentional? Is it stupidity? Is it lack of knowledge? What is it?
Um,
If he
I
would have declared it an emergency, would this all been,
Well,
it
but if
wouldn't
you
have
think about before, he was doing a block on visas. He was doing a block on countries that were legitimately a threat before. Then
right,
Biden went and undid all of these
right,
within a year.
yes,
So again, but before it was a visa block. That's within the power using this. Blocking TikTok, blocking some of these other ones, WeChat and stuff. That's very doable too because it is a form of media that could instill propaganda against the United States. So that's also within this or within this law. But it doesn't say he didn't do tariffs on these people. There's the difference. He's doing tariffs now, and it's still tariffs are a tax by all definitions. And unfortunately, Congress and the states are the ones that are in charge of that. This is where I get confused, but like, I think you're right. Maybe Trump didn't take time to actually read it and just took the words of whoever.
well,
That's
I
the only thing
mean,
I could come
okay,
up with.
so yeah, he's ultimately responsible, but at the same time, as working, in the little company that I did with the CEO, there's no way he's possibly going to know everything about everything.
But that's why you have responsible people. And
Exactly.
Art just
And
said,
that's
D,
why,
tell me one person aside from Rubio who actually looks like they know what they're doing. And the
exactly.
jury is still out on Rubio. And
Yes.
let's take a look at the last administration he put together.
Mm-hmm.
Even worse.
Yes. And
So,
see, he was under the assumption that you had people like Mitch McConnell who was in his corner when he
Mitch
wasn't.
McConnell's a douchebag. You should have
Right.
never
Yeah.
trusted that motherfucker. Never trust a
Well, see,
politician.
yeah. I mean, for all of them, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean,
Yeah, she
that's
dipped
the
on
thing.
Congress before her term was
Exactly.
up. Really
Exactly.
bad
Well,
look.
she worked one day into the new year, so she was eligible to get a pension, and then she bailed.
Yeah,
Even you and I had a discussion. I feel some certain way against Dan Bongino.
yeah.
Okay, he didn't even make it a year, and
Mm-hmm.
he bailed for
Mm-hmm.
all his talk and pop and circumstance on his radio show about what he knew, what he could and couldn't do. He did jack shit as far as I'm concerned. And he might have been pissed off with Pam Bondi and Cash Patel whatever the fuck his reason. Maybe his health was. I don't think it was his health because he went right back into the radio show. So I'm dismissing his health. But he bailed. So people that, you think you're going to trust, are they really? Do they have his best interest at heart? And I mean any president, just not Trump. Do they?
Probably not. But
The regular rank and file staff, they just stick around. Some of them just go with the flow. This idiot's in, that idiot's in, but I'm going to keep my job here for 20, 30 years so I could retire. I
I
don't
hate
know.
to interrupt. Cannabis just sent something. Power grid attack near Las Vegas and Boulder City, Nevada, and stolen ambulance from a hospital in Meridian, Idaho, used to target DHS building.
Yeah, that was put up in our Blue Rose sent that up yesterday. I think she put that up in our Discord.
Okay, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
Everybody who was good at the job in the first administration, Trump fired because they weren't combative enough.
Hmm.
Don didn't Dan didn't bail D. He needed to be with his family, and he can't fix stupid. That's what Blue Rose
I
says.
disagree. Yeah, I disagree because he's back on the show. He went immediately back to the show, and that takes just as much time as it does uh doing I mean, I would have liked to seen him at least hold out for a year. The fact that he didn't even make a year says a lot to me. He's not I just don't believe in him anymore. I haven't listened to him. I don't really care anymore about anything that he has to say. I really don't. He
I
talked a
didn't
good
know there was
game.
a family issue. Depending on what the family issue is, did he say what was going on in the family?
I don't know. I have no clue. He probably,
I mean, if
it
his
was
wife
away
got
from home.
cancer, it would make sense to work
Right,
from
but
home instead of being in DC. It would make
right,
sense doing the podcast out of his home. That would make
right. But
sense.
I didn't hear a word about him say anything about his health.
And maybe not his health, but his family member. If he has a family member's health, that's crucial. He's
Well,
still got to make money.
you think he would say that. That's all.
I don't know.
He
You
wouldn't
said you haven't listened to him, and I haven't because
no,
I've been
it
busy. That's why I was wondering.
but I haven't seen anything in the news on it. I haven't seen anything on anybody else's channel. I haven't seen anything come across my feed about what his issue was, why
Well,
he
I'm going
left.
to Google it right now. Let me find out.
And if it was with regards to his own health, I listened to him and he said he was healthy, blah, 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 that he could do the job, blah, blah,
It
blah.
was ending a
Not saying
tumultuous
that,
9-month tenure marked with clashes with the Justice Department over the handling of the Epstein case,
yeah.
internal circumstances regarding his experience, and a desire to return to his lucrative media career, according to AI.
Yeah, I heard about that's why I said Pam Bondi and Cash Patel. I just didn't say over the Epstein file. Uh, I heard that there were clashes. That was prominent in the news. There were different reports on channels and whatever. But, and I've quit jobs for less, but to hear him talk on his show, he was the man, the be all to end all, and he ended it for me. I don't know, he just ruined it for me. But
Oh,
even,
President Trump indicated that Bongino wanted to return to his show. Dan didn't say that. This is, again, speculation. It doesn't look like he's actually given a reason.
well, I mean, if Trump said that, who knows? According to AI, or Wikipedia, he
Hold
lies
on.
20 times a day. So,
Oh, that's a video. I'm not going through a video as to why he did it.
Yeah.
Someone just give me a damn summary. That's
Uh,
not someone being dismissive and blowing things off.
right. But, let's not even talk about Dan. Let's say you brought up Fauci. You know what I mean? He was supposed to be the
Fauci
best.
had a 40-year track record of being wrong.
Well, he
There's
was
a
to be
difference.
okay, we had Scarf Lady. What the hell was her name? Burke or whatever. And we had the chick from the CDC. So between the three of them, they were supposed to be the best that the industry had to offer. We had the pharmaceuticals. Look at the companies there that were, oh, here's the vaccine. You know what I mean? This is going to stop
Careful
the
treading
spread.
forward. Careful treading forward.
Yeah.
So we don't get in trouble.
We'll end that there. You know what I mean? Let's just look at the Treasury guy that just left. And, these people are supposed to be at the top of their game. And I
Well,
find
the
that they're
Treasury
not.
guy Trump was wanting to get rid of because he wouldn't adjust the
Right.
inflationometer because Trump
The
said to.
well, he's the boss. When your boss tells you to do something, you do it or you get fired or your boss wants you out of the job. When he says to reduce the
Inflation.
interest rate,
Oh, the
okay?
interest rates, yeah.
Yeah, the interest rates, he wanted to see them lowered. When your boss says reduce them, you reduce them. How many places have, there was one time I did a report and I gave it to my boss and she didn't like it. So the CEO, so she took what I had and she goes, I want to see it this way. I said, fine. I did it the way she wanted. The
But did you
following
by
year,
chance risk collapsing the economy on millions of people by doing so?
no, but let me finish. The next year, I took that exact report that she had redone, that she wanted to see her way, right? I did it exactly the same. I submitted it to her. She called me in and said, who the hell did this garbage? And I was like,
It was
I
you.
said, yeah, I said, you did this. I almost lost my job over that.
But she did. And this is again
She
where,
did.
but there's a difference between a local job, even at a local business, versus the economy of the United States of America.
Yeah. But he was doing it to benefit the American people.
But
He wasn't going to
was
collapse the economy
the
by
question
having
is,
interest
by
rates.
lowering interest rates, how much impact would, some of the little people, but then the jobs market is going to start laying people off because they're not making the income to cover the difference or whatever the situation is. I don't know because I'm not that economics person on that level. I never took it beyond high school.
Well, that was the reason for the reduction in interest rates had to do with people being able to purchase a home, people being able to buy cars.
Also, kind of like what Obama did and fucked up the entire real estate market in 2008, when a bunch of people who would never actually be able to keep a home got loans and screwed over the real estate market.
Well, that, I don't know if that would have played into it or not.
We
But
don't know, but if we go based on what happened in 2008 with Obama, it would do it again.
well, that wasn't the discussion that was on the table.
Well,
It
that's
was that
because that's not
Jerome, it
going
was
to
that
be.
Jerome, so you had Jerome Powell having that millions of dollars in that new building that he did that was overrun. And Jerome Powell basically was trying to be his own little dictator.
No, actually, according to this, the Federal Reserve, we're confusing the Federal Reserve with the Treasury. Jerome Powell is still the head of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve sets interest rates. It's also supposed to be independent from the president.
Right.
So he
So
can,
what?
he doesn't have to adjust them because Trump said so. He's independent.
Yeah.
Trump is not his boss.
True, but he has huge sway on what is said. Just because he's independent
Oh, so
doesn't mean
Trump
anything.
can have
So
sway over the government's decisions, but the Supreme Court can't, or they're all corrupt because of outside influences.
yeah, they all are. Every single one of them. You're damn straight they are. Every single
And
one of
how
them
do
is
we know
corrupt.
that? What if Trump is too, and that's an outside force, and he's
It's
believing them?
possible. It's highly possible. We may find out, next year that, all this time he's been on the take like a Nancy Pelosi or,
I
they all
just
have their, I mean,
all I
you
know
make
is when
comments.
when Obama did the same concept in 2008, it there were millions of people getting homes, destroying homes, not keeping them. It sent the banks into it's what led to part of the banking crisis years later. It's because all these people took out loans, no intentions on paying them, and then we, the other people who had jobs, got stuck paying the
But
difference.
that's the responsibility of whoever is issuing the loan. That wasn't, you can't put that on Obama. You have to place that blame on whoever issued the loan.
Well,
If you can't make the payment, they were so hep on, you know,
prime example,
right, right,
my sister had a
yeah,
perfect credit score, had all the money to do it. She chose to spend her money on other things than her bills.
right.
The bank, on paper, she passed.
Well,
How could they
that
know she was going to
and
use
that
her money onto everything but her bills?
yeah. And does it matter what the interest rate is? Would she have paid it
It would
regardless?
discourage her and make it harder for her to get the down payment.
Uh, I
For
don't know,
people who
crazy
don't
Dave.
like paying their bills, and she couldn't even get a full down payment saved up. She had to get money from other people and consider it as a gift to put on
Yeah,
there. We're sitting
I
here
don't
with
think.
enough money to pay cash in hand on a down payment.
Well,
There's a
and
difference.
yeah, and the difference is, do you want to pay it at 7% or would you rather pay it at 5%?
I will pay
Are
at
you gonna
whatever percent because that's what my bill is and that's what I'm going to pay. Would I
no?
like a
Are you
lower
gonna
bill?
so you're
Yes,
telling
but
me that
not at the
hold up,
risk of some people.
hold up. You're gonna take your $40,000 and you're gonna pay 7% interest on a mortgage versus paying 5% on a mortgage.
If that's
That's
what it is, if it's what the base is around the nation, it's the average, then yeah, that's what you pay. It's like gas
well,
prices. You pay what it
and
is.
that is where you will not be able to afford getting the house. That 1% of whatever your house is going to be, including what you're going to pay in property tax, and you're going to need homeowners insurance. You're easily looking today at, you know, anywhere from $1,500 up on a mortgage for
Actually, when I
25.
ran his credit score on the basis that it was middle of the year last year, it was going to be an $850 to $900 a month payment, and because it's a mortgage through a bank, the homeowner's insurance and everything is put into it.
Well, you need to take a look. You need to take a look, run it at the different rates.
I
I'm
have
not
well, I mean,
smart.
it bases on what the more interest rate is at the bank, and I ran it through a bunch of different banks. 30-year mortgage for about $150,000 home is about $850 a month,
I
give or
don't know
take.
about that.
That's what they
Well,
told me on the websites for the different banks. Eight hundred
well,
fifty to nine
by the
hundred.
time I got done with taxes and I got done with uh, the property taxes and homeowners insurance, I started out at a little over $1,100. And as time went on, with the increases in taxes and insurance, by the time we were done, we were almost at $1,600 a month.
Well,
And
I
I
can't
only took,
account
hold
for
on,
changes in insurance, but tax rate here is like what was it, $550 a year for where we are right now?
Oh, my school district's $5,000, so that's
Yeah, I live in a very reasonable area. That's
okay.
where I
The
get
point,
away
the
with the
point,
cheaper
the
price.
point about this is you save money between 7% and going
Well,
to
I
5%.
get that, but again, like you can't, like again, you go to the store, milk is going to cost what it's going to cost. You might have a few options. You can't go to the counter and barter the milk gallon of milk down to $2,
No, because that's set by the state.
as is
So,
the interest rates and everything
right.
else. Those
And
are
so
set by the Federal Reserve,
so
and
so
who
what you're
regulates
hearing
that?
from the
One
Dems
person.
is the argument about the Dems is affordability. That's
But
what they're
they
fighting.
but they
Yeah,
want to
so that's
increase
the
taxes on
argument.
us.
That's the argument going into the November election is affordability, gas prices,
My
energy
gas was
prices.
$2.38 a gallon today.
But mine's still over 350 something here. That
You need to
has to
move
do with
down here.
state taxes.
You
So
need to move
there's
down here.
there's issues on gas, there's issues on energy, there's issues on housing. I mean medical care. And so the Dems are saying that it's the Republicans' fault because of the high cost. Even though this shit happened under Biden, the
Hmm.
Republicans are getting blamed. And
Yeah,
everything that Trump has done, the Republicans aren't getting the message out. For example, about the stock market and the reduction in gas prices going from close to $5 down to $2.39, whatever you said you were paying.
yeah.
So
But states
you
also
know
help
they're
regulate some of the gas prices, as
yeah,
does the tariffs if we are getting imported oil that's then turned into gas.
correct.
So, again, tariffs are a tax, a roundabout tax on us.
They are. I
So,
mean, anything that comes in from a foreign country that he put tariffs on is a tax.
and that's why some of the stuff is still expensive too.
Right. Exactly.
But it had no reason to be as expensive as it was under Biden. That was just
Right.
bullshit. That was
Right.
COVID response, and people
And
soaked
let
that for as
let
long as
me
they could.
let's place a bet. Well, I don't want to bet between me and you, but let me just say, I'm going to throw this out there. If you think for 1 minute that with these tariffs, and I don't know if we will really get to it today or not. It might have to wait till Monday, but companies want reimbursed based on this tariff. Do you really think that they're going to give that money back? Do you think they're going to reduce, like say we're paying $10 a pound for beef when it should have been $8? Okay. Do you
Hmm.
really think that those companies are going to go back down to $8
No,
when we've been
never.
paying 10? Hell
But
no. No,
that's
they're not.
again where it's one of those things that supply and demand registers that. When people are in demand of houses, of course the prices are going to go up. When people are not in demand of them, the price goes down. It's the same thing in the real estate market as it is in the grocery store when you look at supply and demand.
Well, they're not going to go back down.
Nothing.
The
Well,
prices,
then why would the house prices go down?
they're not. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they are.
So this is where
Because
we're
the
just
other
I'm going to be
problem is
stuck paying whatever I get stuck paying, and I just have
right,
no
but
choice in
there's
it.
also there's also a housing shortage. For example, you you might think that you're going to get the house at say the 150,000 price. But what if somebody comes in and says to the landlord, "I'll give you 250."
Well, then we move down to the family land and get it tax free if the
Right.
state goes through with that. But the
Right.
fact is, I put the bid in. I let him know I'm interested. We
Right.
haven't agreed on a price, but
Right.
right now I have enough in the bank to do a cash down payment on it, a
Right.
mortgage of 150,000, no problem.
Right. But that is your setup uniquely. Other people may not. They might only have a
Oh,
$20,000. Whatever it is that the bank says that they need for a down payment, that's what they may put on it.
Hmm.
They might have,
I know
say
how they
that,
do the math. It's usually 15 to
yeah,
20% for a
right,
mortgage. Doesn't
right.
matter how much. It's usually that's what the down payment is, 15 to 20%.
Right.
So I figured
So,
pushing it towards like 20 to 25%
right.
is going to be a safe zone. Go a little, figure your math a little high so you have some extra to play with. That's
Yep.
the way I see
'Cause
it.
there'll be a lot of things that come into play.
Hmm.
You'll have to have a inspection, and all types of things come into. You have to have a credit report. They
Oh, we have
charge you
that.
an arm. Yeah. Well, no, you have it, but they charge you for it.
Oh, yeah, I
Anything to
know.
nickel and dime you.
Yeah, I
So
know. I know. I'm absolutely aware of the process of buying a house. It's just, like I said, I've looked into this multiple times over the years, even before we moved down here. I was looking into purchasing a home in Michigan. And then COVID hit, and then it's like, yeah, no jobs, no rental places, nothing's opening up. We get down here, and the town is cram packed. Like there is no open housing here. Even trailer parks are full.
yeah.
Our place is literally cram packed. The Section 8 housing is here. It's full. There's no open apartments in town. I think there's two
Well,
open
and that's
apartments
what
in
they're
town.
right, and that's what one of the biggest problems is in the country, is the lack of housing, and with the influx of illegals that
Hmm.
are in here. I mean, how many stories have we looked at where Americans have been kicked out of apartments or out of that hotel, because they were able to bring illegals in and pay exorbitant amounts of rent?
Oh, I can tell you it's
And
bad. And I can
yeah,
tell you a two-bedroom apartment down here, and again, we're locked in at the price we are with the landlord, but a two-bedroom apartment in our town is going for $1,000. A two-bedroom, one bath,
yeah,
$1,000. When I first moved down here 20 years ago, we were paying, what was it, 475 a month for a two-bedroom, one bath.
yep.
In 20 years, it went from under $500 to $1,000 because one, the town is growing. There are more jobs here, more businesses coming here. They are building more residential homes that are for sale. These are little, like your little cul-de-sac places with the bunch of houses that are cookie cutter. Everything looks the same, and you got to look at the numbers to know which house is yours or count so many mailboxes in. Those kind of places that
Right.
will be purchased and owned by the people, not rented. They, I mean, there's a lot, and there's apartment complexes that are old that are getting renovated and made bigger because we don't have room. And so they're adding on because we just got four more businesses added to our city that will be opening in the next year.
Right.
Well, town. It's becoming a city. And I mean, we're smack in the pretty much in the middle of it. I mean, you go 2 blocks and you're at the freaking courthouse.
Right.
I mean, any other town, if you moved in once it was already booming, this place would be an arm and a leg. As tiny
Yeah,
as it
and
is, 900 square
yeah,
foot house.
yeah, and Art, I apologize saying the Treasury. I know it's the feds, but I didn't plan on having this conversation, so I apologize. I just
But it's
know,
informative to people who don't know what's
yeah,
going on.
I just know that it's Jerome Powell, and that he did have millions of dollars in overruns on the building that he was building. Trump was trying to put a stop to it. Yes, there is the Board of Governors. If I recall correctly, it has to do with how they are hired or how they stay in power, and that they cannot be gotten rid of. There's also another agency. It's either the FTC or the FCC. And again, I apologize. I'd have to look it up.
It's probably the
That is,
FTC because that's the Trade Commission.
it's one
FCC
of
is Communication Commission.
Yeah, it's one of them that is an independent, supposed to be independent. And the issue is, Trump has been arguing, are they really supposed to be independent? as compared to other agencies. So,
Well, I believe our Constitution made them separate.
I don't know. I right now it's after 9 o'clock. I know jack shit right now.
I think you mean private investor, not inventor art. But he says he does it every day. He's
Does
into the
what?
private investing. He's a
Okay.
private, like investing into the stocks and trades,
Yeah.
stuff like that. He says he does this every day. I don't know jack shit about the stock market. So,
But
I'm
all I
pretty
know
sure
is
you mean
that there's
FTC.
yeah, all I know is that Trump is arguing that they should not be independent, and even if they are independent, I'm arguing that there is still influence from the president of the United States.
Yeah, he has
And he
influence, but they can also choose to not
and
abide.
that has been the argument, and that is why Trump could have fought to get rid of him, but he's leaving anyway, so Trump can appoint somebody else. So
I do know Trump could have told Fauci to buzz off and got a completely different opinion
well, I think perhaps
as
he did.
president.
Yeah,
No,
I
he,
think
well, to a degree, not
yeah,
completely.
yeah, I think he did, but the fact that Fauci wasn't, we better not go down that path. But
Oh, Art says yes, the Fed is supposed to be independent, but they are not part of the Constitution, so that's an open argument. Okay, I did not know that. I'm learning something new. I know the Federal Reserve was established to get away from the gold-backed currency, and I think it's a mistake personally. I
well,
like the gold-backed currency, gold-backed.
I thought that they were the ones that had the gold. I don't know. That's something we'd have to
Or
look
maybe
at.
or it was it the Federal Reserve decided to get away from the gold-backed currency into the BS that we have today, where hey, this piece of paper, this paper right here, is worth more than gold. Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. Like I said, economics was not my forte. A lot of history stuff, give me Civil War, World War II era. I'm happy. This is not my strong suit, which is why I bring up different perspectives because I'm not good at it. The problem is the head of the Fed only has one vote. There are 12 others on the board of Feds that also get to vote. So the
and
head of the
that's
board
where
could get outvoted.
right, and that's where he argues that these two, one of these commissions and the Federal Reserve should not be independent. So I,
Well, I kind of like the idea that our money is not at the whims of a president, because imagine if Biden was in charge of it. What could he have done? What happens in the future if we get a jackass who decides to go full dictator mode?
well, what happens when you have a person that is the head of an independent agency that decides to be a dictator?
Well, they're the dictator of one thing, and the rest of the board of trustees can deal
But
with that
but
as long as because he only gets one vote if he's the head. He doesn't have
well,
full say.
he has enough of a sway. Trust me, he has enough
Well,
of a
then
sway.
why didn't Jerome Powell have more sway over the 12 other people to
He did.
vote with him?
He did. That's part of the
Obviously,
problem.
they didn't. Because, I mean, if he wanted to, if all of them, or more than half of them, wanted to lower interest rates, it would have happened.
But they didn't. The thing, Jerome
What was
Powell
their
didn't want to
logic?
do it.
What was their logic?
I can't recall at this point. I'd have to go pull it.
I'm truly
Just,
curious
I
what their
mean,
logic was. Because
we
I know
can.
sometimes it could crash the banks, like what Obama did. Well, help do. The
But
banks
it
were
wasn't.
doing some
But that
stupid shit on their own.
the thing
But
is, it wasn't going to. So I'd have to pull all that. I'd have to pull his the info on what he did with the building and what he did with the money. And Trump was,
That
you know,
how does
Trump
that
asked,
how does them refurbishing a building have to do with the interest rates
uh,
of what others
well,
pay?
I'm just saying this is
We know
part of
we
why.
know he's a
Let,
weasel with
let me finish.
pocketing money.
Let me finish. This is part of why Trump said he shouldn't be permitted. They shouldn't be permitted to have their own say. He was supposed to rehab a building, and instead the overage went over millions of dollars. He had to have marble in the building. I mean, this was on a
I know.
level that
We
was,
watched it. We covered it.
yeah,
And I said he was
exactly.
an idiot for doing that. They could
Right,
have been more fiscally responsible.
exactly. But he wasn't. So that's part of the bitch and part of the rub of, we're talking about being responsible with taxpayer dollars, and he's out there just blowing it for whatever reason.
90% of the House and the Senate does the same thing. So
I
we need to
know
get rid
that,
of all of them.
Tracy. Okay,
Well, I've
I'm
been
done.
bitching to get rid of all of them. I know what you're going at.
It's fine. I'm done. I'm not saying another word. So,
Well, we are 7 minutes past. So I guess we can just. Do you want to call it a night, or do you want to keep going to the next one? Did we have any
well,
more on this? Yeah, we had one
well,
more
yeah,
article.
yeah, you want to finish that up?
Um,
Well, wasn't there one that,
this was
does
the
this
stock
include,
market.
yeah, isn't there one that is, where all the companies are bitching they want their money back? Did I send that over?
I think that's
I
this one
thought,
with the stock market.
is it? Okay. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Do you want to read that? Let me see if there's anything else.
Okay. So, stocks jump after U.S. Supreme Court rejects Trump's tariffs after they've already been in place for like a year. So the stock markets in Europe and the United States jumped on Friday after the Supreme Court struck down Trump's tariffs, a key pillar of the administration's economic platform. The stocks, the S&P 500 rose and was last up 0.6. NASDAQ was up 1%. European auto shares and U.S. listed shares of stock markets from South Korea and India rallied. I don't know what any of that means. I'm sorry. I don't know what any of this means. Bonds, the yields of benchmark U.S. Treasury rose with that on 10-year notes up 2 basis points to 4.096%. Forex, the dollar index, weakened slightly and was down 0.2% at 97.67. I don't know what this means. Eric Miralles, co-head of Global Market Citizens in Boston, the Supreme Court's 6-3 ruling against Trump's administration on tariffs sparked the immediate knee-jerk rally in the euro. However, the decision stopped short of clarifying eligibility for tariff refunds, leaving a key source of uncertainty intact. Markets now have to balance easing tariff-driven inflation pressures against the potential loss. I need to enlarge this. That's why I'm struggling. I am so sorry, folks. No wonder why I'm struggling. Markets now have to balance easing tariffs-driven inflation pressures against the potential loss of several hundred billions of dollars and the related tariff revenue. 0.6% move on the S&P is a day ending and Y for the market. That's not a move up. Oh, I'll trust you because I have no clue. While the initial reaction is up, the confusion it's going to lead to is probably going to keep this market going back and forth over the next couple of days. As far as investors were concerned, tariffs were never a good way to approach policy. And short-term winners would be the companies that are importing from realtors and manufacturers who get their parts overseas. There is no shortage of companies that have been impacted by it or have mentioned that it's a big factor in why they had to raise costs. Phil Blancato, I know I botched that, chief market strategist of Osaic, New Jersey. Um, this court issuance comes only 2 months before Trump meets with President Xi of China, where tariffs were anticipated to be Trump's main card for negotiations. Immediately following the decisions by the High Court, equities jumped, fixed income yields jumped over concerns that the U.S. Treasury is now going to have to pay a significant amount back to U.S. corporations. This would lead to a higher deficit and potential degradation in credit standards in the United States. The market goes back and forth every day, every trading day. Not picking on UB. Oh, I know. I'm just reading what they put. Lastly, the question is who has paid for the tariffs? U.S. companies, consumers, or foreign exporters will come to the forefront on who deserves the repayment of the government. Now, I remember hearing various other presidents over the years threatening countries with tariffs. So if Trump's not allowed to impose tariffs, how did any of our past presidents get away with using this threat?
I don't know.
I'm confused. What this really boils down to is that, what, they're just going to pull this now because they don't like Trump and every other president has gotten away with it?
Pretty much.
I remember Obama threatening things like this, and Biden was threatening some of them on a couple countries, but it wasn't nearly on the amount Trump was threatening. Like, and if Congress is the only ones who can do this, then why did any president even threaten it in the first place? My head's
Because no matter
hurting.
what we already know that whatever he does, it doesn't matter. They had 165 lawsuits ready to go when he took office.
Yeah.
If the Dems get in November, they have already said they're going to impeach him.
And
Hakeem Jeffries already said it. They're ready to roll with an
but they
impeachment.
would never have thought to do this to any other presidents since the 70s.
Right.
When tariffs have been threatened. Like, am I crazy or am I misremembering this stuff?
I don't know. I'm sending over a couple. The last article, Crazy Bee, that I sent, and this one that I'm sending now. This is for you and I to review for Monday. Okay.
Okay. But I'm truly, like, I mean, I remember many presidents threatening tariffs. Why is this any different other than he actually did it instead of just threatening? Like, I get the tariff is collected at the dock when the shipment has arrived in the U.S. So there is no other country who ever paid them. The other country may have lowered prices to compensate, but that's a different thing entirely. Yeah, like, I'm just wondering why this is so different with Trump. I mean, we all heard Biden threatening the aid of what country? Was it Ukraine over his son? Stuff like this.
Right.
Like, we get presidents and vice presidents that do this shit all the time. Why is it a big deal now? Except other than having to do it by executive order, which may have been the problem.
Yeah, I'm looking. I just looked that up, Crazy Bee. Who did what? So it was Trump. Then before that, Biden, George Bush, who imposed tariffs on imported steel. Ronald Reagan in '85 on Japanese electronics. Richard Nixon, 10% on imports in 1971 to address a trade deficit. Uh,
Well, anything
and
before
he,
77 when the Emergency Act was put in is
well,
basically anything after 77 is, I mean, was what
right.
I was, but it's
Well,
happened.
Richard Nixon used Trading with the Enemy Act.
Okay.
Herbert Hoover did a Smoot-Hawley Tariff of 1930, which I was doing some reading about that. I know nothing really. McKinley in 1890 aggressively raised duties to nearly 50%.
And that's kind of why we now have this. It has to be an emergency. You have to explain it to
Right,
Congress because
right,
Congress is, according to the Constitution, is the only one who can impose taxes. But I
correct.
thought that was taxes on us. Well, I mean, it technically comes to us, the consumer, because our prices
Well,
go up.
they hold the Congress holds the constitutional power to impose tariffs, but they have delegated authority to the president to act under specific conditions, such as national security or unfair trade practices.
Okay,
While
so the
many
unfair
presidents,
trade practices that we've got.
yeah, while many presidents used this authority, in February the Supreme Court ruled against Trump.
So
I'd be
I'm
curious,
confused.
yeah, from a historical standpoint, just exactly what these other presidents did and what they, what
Is that why
good,
Justice Kavanaugh gave him the workarounds as a way that
probably,
Congress couldn't argue?
maybe. That's what I'm wondering.
Because, like I said, I swear I've heard our presidents do this in the past. And it's making my head hurt trying to keep up with it. And now we got the stock market acting like it's a gambling game and they just placed bets on who's going to what.
Well, that's one thing that why I argue about. I'm not crazy about this 4-year term bullshit. Despite the arguments against socialism and all of that, you China long term, Russia long term, they can play the long term game where we cannot because our rotation is every 4 years. So even if you're, like Trump got in, as soon as you get into office, you got to start getting ready for the next cycle. You're at and about fundraising. You're supposed to be at work, but are they really? So having a
Probably not.
congressperson every 2 years, is that really in our best interest when as soon as they get into office, they're they're vying for the next term and not and they're not doing really work for the American people. Senate, they're in 6 years, 6 years. Is that any better? I don't know.
I don't know. I This is where I'm just like my head is really hurt. Like you like
Should the
I
should the
can't.
president be should the president be a 6-year term, get in, and that's it. There'd be no what's the word I'm looking for? I'm brain dead. There'd be no trying to come in for another term. He
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be, at fundraising. He wouldn't be, you know, as soon as he gets in there, he wouldn't try to be, I need to get in for my second term. It would just be 6 years and be done.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still the
But is
option
even
of
6 years
impeachment.
long enough? Because they still don't actually
Get
um
anything accomplished.
no, because the next president can just fucking undo it.
Right. By executive order. And that's what they've been doing. Instead of Congress doing their job, they've delegated certain responsibilities. They've just let the president do what he wants
Yeah.
instead of them writing legislation, for example, on illegal immigration. on whether or not dreamers should be here or not. They're not doing their damn job. So
Yeah.
he's writing, how many executive orders? We've never really looked at that. What kind of stuff has he written that Congress really should be doing?
I don't know. I
They're
this is
they're
where
out
I
there,
get confused because it's not the best. Like, again, this is
it,
everything that's going on is like completely out of the basic civics class I have ever taken.
right?
We have a president insisting he has powers that Congress and the Supreme Court have just now said he doesn't.
Right.
We've got
That they've
Congress trying to
given
do
him,
shit they don't have the right to do.
right?
And we have like just what in the hell is going on with our country right now?
I mean, we just covered the story of them trying to take down uh, history in Virginia.
I know.
And wait till you see wait till you see a couple stories I have on Spamberger. This chick, I'm telling you, there's one video of her. I swear to God, it's the devil reincarnated. When you
They've
see
said
what
that about
she,
Bush Jr. and
well,
Obama. Who was it that said they smelled sulfur when Obama left the room or entered the room?
I don't know, but I'm telling you what, when you see this video, my hair is standing on edge just even thinking about it. The way she
Mm-hmm.
looks, that's how scary it is. And so even things like in my own state, we talked about this. Why the piss was it necessary for them to pass a bill on the way African Americans can wear their hair? Because they're discriminated against in jobs.
I still want one
What
proof there was actual discrimination.
I
Someone give
know,
me proof.
I know. But even Chip Roy, we can't see
His
what
list.
he exactly. Why?
He's got a
We're
list
trying,
he'll submit to Congress, but not tell us, the
right,
American people, where he got it from.
right.
I know. I've had issues with all of this for quite a few decades. I said it was getting worse when I was young, and I was seeing the patterns through history. And then as I got into my teens and 20s, I kept saying it was going to get worse and worse. Obama gave a smooth talk about making it better, sounded
Yep,
logical, but then did the
yep,
exact opposite.
yep.
And honestly, some of the stuff he was promoting wasn't very by the books at the time either. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just gone from one insanity to another over the last 70 to 100 years. I am not joking
Right,
when I say this.
right.
And again, yes, Trump is not your routine politician. He can't be bought. But he's still got his problems. And this is one of them. This is where I'm confused. Like, does he have this right or not? And
Well,
the
apparently
Supreme
not
Court
according,
settled it.
yeah. Well, according not to the IEPA, right? IEP he does not have that authority. But Kavanaugh gave him the
The
other,
out.
the out.
Yes,
Now,
where
I
to go.
still question if he would have declared that emergency in the beginning, would he have won the case? If he would have declared the emergency, but he did not.
He did. He said it was unfair
He
trade
didn't.
practices. I thought he
No, he
did.
did not. But no, when you go back to his first term, he did not. Did
Oh,
that
in his
set
first term, but
precedent?
that wasn't tariffs. Remember, he blocked visas and stuff like that. He
But
blocked
he
certain
never,
things, but
yeah,
he
he
didn't.
blocked yeah, but he did, we'll go back. He did not declare emergency. He did not declare it as an emergency.
Yeah, but he
If
did
we go
also
back.
didn't impose tariffs at that time either, like on this level.
Yeah, not on this level.
And
Um,
that's the difference, I think.
and yeah,
And
and even now, if he would have declared this now as an emergency, would that have made a difference?
well, that's what he supposedly filed this under was the IEEPA Act.
Right, but it says in the act that you have to declare an emergency.
I thought he did. I could have swore he did. Hold on. Let me double check my memory here. Hold on. Um, there are no results for did Trump declare an emergency when he used the IEEPA. According to this, there's no results for it. I searched Google and there's no results. Okay, hold on. Still no results according to Google. That's funny. What's Google trying to hide?
We read something that said that he did not declare it, but it was in his first term.
Wait, hold on. 2025 fact sheet. President Donald Trump declares a national emergency to increase some kind of, hold on, competitive edge. Okay, let's see if this is this is the White House. So, pursuing reciprocity to rebuild the economy and restore national and economic security, Donald J. Trump declared a foreign trade economic practices have created a national emergency. This was April 2nd of 2025. Funny how Google failed to bring this up.
Did he file it under the IEEPA, though?
Yes. President Trump is invoking his authority under the International Emergencies Economic Power Act of 1977, according to the White House, on April 5th, 2025, at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Okay, drop that into our links, okay?
Tell me how the hell I had to dig for that because freaking Google wouldn't bring it to the front. I will grab the link to it. My earbuds are about to die, so 1 second. And I will add that in. So evidently he did declare it as an emergency. And he's supposed to check in with Congress every 6 months to yay or nay it.
And he has to renew it every year.
Maybe
when
it was
that done?
April 25th, 2025. It's almost been a year.
Okay. Right. Okay, can you check that on his first term?
Hold on 1 second. I gotta I minimize something. Oh, no, oh my God, I'm a dumbass. Give me a minute. Close the. I minimized the tab island that I needed. Sorry. Let's see about his first term. Now he didn't use it to raise tariffs, but in his first term. So yes, President Trump declared a national emergency while invoking that during his term, specifically in early 2025. Now it has Google. It's only doing the 2025 thing. What he was in office, 2016 to 20.
Right.
So that's 2025. The Congress.gov has it that he declared it. September 1st of 2025 was the published date. But now they're not giving me his. Why is it when I asked about this term, they said they have nothing? When I ask about his first term, all of a sudden all this shit comes up. My God. Oh my God. What? And then it has the search. Oh, I misspelled emergency. Fuckers. Weather tomorrow. No. Oh my God. Hold up. Hold up. This is what happens when I corrected it.
Oh my God.
Do you mean Trump emergency, whatever? And then I got weather tomorrow, Spanish to English, time in Tokyo. Google is really, really not helping.
Yeah, I'm looking as well, and everything's for his second term.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
Fuck this. Advanced search. I'm putting in specific time frames. Um, nope. Nope, it's not an advanced search. It's a tool. Sort by relevance. We're gonna sort by date. Nope. It's what happened to the where you can put it in by a date range.
I don't know, but
They took that off. It's no longer a
yes,
tool on Google.
yep,
Oh, they're getting dirty.
yes, they
Oh,
are. Ever
2020. U.S. sanctions on International Criminal Court. Oh, that's sanctions, not tariffs. Oh, no, he did. No, the sanctions were under that. Weren't they? Oh, wait. Trump declares a national emergency. This is from 2019. Trump declares national emergency and provokes constitutional clash. And February 15th of 2019, Congress refused to give it to him to build the wall.
Well, we're trying to find out about tariffs.
Well, I don't think he really did tariffs that much in his first term.
Okay.
Let me double check. This is what I mean by like. I don't think he did. Oh, of course, 10 hours ago, 1 week ago, 2 weeks
I
ago,
know,
1 month ago.
that's where
Freaking
I'm at.
jackasses. Oh my God.
Even though I didn't
2016 to
get
2020. Trump's foreign policy. That was a month ago. Is there anything pertaining to tariffs? I need to hold on. Let me see. Oh, it's a
okay,
oh
so I found yes, during his first term, he heavily utilized tariffs as a protectionist trade policy,
now Art.
notably imposing levies on steel and aluminum
Okay,
from
Art
China.
says he cannot change the tariffs. He can halt trade or allow trade. He can only impose tariffs under a very limited circumstance for 120 days. Well,
Well,
and he
he
did
relied,
on
yeah,
China. They didn't
well,
complain back then.
yeah, he did on China primarily, but he also did Canada, Mexico, the European Union. It was on steel, aluminum, solar panels, washing machines, and other consumer goods. Get this, it relied on national security grounds, Section 232, and unfair trade practices, Section 301.
Then
Isn't
what he
that
should have
what
used
Kavanaugh?
this time?
Yep, exactly what Kavanaugh gave him. Why didn't he?
Why didn't he do that then if he already knew it existed? And his
Right.
oh my God, I'm telling you,
This ha
our
see,
government is retarded.
this has to be whoever he's listening to.
Our government is utterly retarded. I'm sorry. Our government's retarded.
Okay. Oh, this is hold up. Let me read this. Uh, yeah. See, so Section 232, which we really didn't get into the law, authorizes the president to impose tariffs or quotas on imports deemed to threaten U.S. national security following an investigation and recommendations by the Secretary of Commerce.
But
Because the
I know that
statute,
was on like the pamphlets and stuff that had potential propaganda.
right? Uh, it grants because the statute does not define national security, it grants the executive branch broad discretion in its interpretation. Trump stated that existing 232s would remain in full force. So they're using that as well. Oh, God, my
And
head
Art
hurts.
says, I believe those first term tariffs were challenged in court, but because came moot because Biden repealed them before it could actually take effect. I believe. Well, I'm kind of paraphrasing it. I think I remember hearing about that. That they didn't actually get to be fully enforced because it was towards the end of his term, and they were still in court. Like I
Okay,
said,
I'm
my
gonna.
head hurts.
Who is? What organization is this? This is the Council of Foreign Affairs. .org. We can drop this in the links, Crazy B.
I
It
will.
explains, yeah, it explains the different. This says how Trump's tariffs could survive the Supreme Court ruling. So it's giving us basically what we're looking for, how he's gonna be able to still pull all this off.
That's why I wonder if Brett Kavanaugh did that on purpose.
But he's already using it.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
so that, yeah, so okay, so we just talked about that Smoot-Hawley tariff. That's Section 338. So
Uh-huh.
that's the one where tariffs could go up as high as 50%. Wow.
Like I said, this has got my head hurting because it's so cyclical. And oh, it's okay for this president to do it, but not that president to do it.
Right, right.
Like legit. Maybe
You
it's
know,
because it's late and
this
I'm in
just,
pain, but I don't know.
okay, so this just got me thinking about something else. So there's a paragraph in the document I just sent you, and it
Mm-hmm.
goes in oral arguments over the IEEPA. And you know what? Every time that they go to court, there's been a problem with whoever the frickin' attorneys are. And I don't know if the attorneys are knowledgeable enough to present the materials to the Supreme Court.
Well,
If
he
you've
did put
listened,
Pam Bondi in charge of all of them.
exactly, exactly. And how many of them left, right? How many attorneys left because they weren't happy with Pam Bondi and Trump? So who the hell knows? I mean, I've listened to some of the oral arguments, and man, those justices were brutal on some of them. So,
Mm-hmm.
are they able to articulate do they understand the law well enough
Probably
to present?
not.
That's what I'm wondering.
I mean, for all we know, Pam Bondi hired every C minus to D level passing attorney. You
Right,
know, even a C minus is a passing grade, and with the fact
right,
that Biden lowered the competency, basically,
right.
you gotta
So,
wonder.
yep, are they still DEI hires that are presenting the material? So there's that angle as well. Perhaps, and there's nobody else to appeal it to.
I don't know, and I
And
mean, Pam Bondi seems to be trying everything in her power to not. And then even Trump backtracked on the Epstein files. He
right,
was so hell bent about releasing them to get elected. And then all of a sudden, what files? This is stupid. And Pam Bondi's right there with him after all that hype to get elected in. So again,
Right.
maybe she is sabotaging everything by telling him there's nothing in the Epstein files and then sabotaging with bad lawyers. I don't know, but like, I'm just confused at how some presidents can get away with it, but not this one. Like,
Right.
generations of they've tolerated this to the Supreme Court just weren't buying it from the beginning. You could have sent God and Trump would have lost. He just doesn't have the authority to do some of the things he did. And that's very likely. And I'm not going to sit there and justify everything he does, but I'm just wondering why other presidents were still doing this and Congress didn't pitch a big fit from my knowledge.
Yeah, like
And
I don't remember this going on with Biden.
I don't remember it happening to Obama. The Republicans just don't fight back. But I mean,
Right.
did anyone even fight the Bushes on this kind of shit?
No.
I was just a kid. I mean, I was barely 10 years old when the first Bush took office. No, I wasn't even. He got in the year my brother was born. I was 5 when that Bush got in. And then Bush Jr., I was in my late teens, early 20s, and I didn't like the guy. He was probably the one big Republican I couldn't stand at the time. And how he got a second term is beyond me. That man just
Right.
really overstep beyond belief with the Patriot Act. It went way beyond necessity for defending our country.
Right. We'll make it make sense that the Patriot Act is still viable today. That they're able to.
Especially when there's open borders under
Yeah.
Biden.
Yeah.
Like, what's the
Yep.
fucking point?
Yep.
So again, it's like I'm just sitting here scratching my head at this. How they basically let one person, all these presidents before him, go into the gray zone with this same kind of stuff.
Well, the
But
Republicans. I mean, that's one of the biggest complaints I have, and Trump just
I
he
didn't hear
was
the
on
Democrats complaining about Bush Jr.
right, and Trump was on Meet the Press, and he was talking about how the Republicans aren't pushing the positivity that's happened in the economy and with pricing and that going down. My bottom line with the Republicans has always been they don't fight back. And I'm not saying to fight back dirty, but I'm saying to just put out information in general. They do a piss poor job of communicating to the American people. They
Mm-hmm.
don't, there is no effort on their part. The Dems are always in lockstep. The Dems always have the word of the day. That word of the day translates over to the mainstream media and everybody's saying the same word. We never see any of this shit come down from the Republicans. And they could
Mm-hmm.
take some of the best of their playbook, but they don't. They're not, like they, we want the SAVE Act to pass. And you got the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, saying he's not gonna pass it.
Well, he's not putting it to vote. Not that he wouldn't pass it.
No, he said that he's not gonna vote for it. He's not going to vote for it. And the fact that he's not going to put it up for a vote, what does that say?
Well, it says our Congress is really fucked up. All of our
Yeah,
politicians are fucked up. The
yeah,
entire system needs to be revamped. But,
right.
and I agree, it needs
How
to
do
be
we
done
get,
by constitutional standards, and we need to get back to strict standards for the
yes,
Constitution. Because I am sick of these politicians walking all over us, and this includes presidents. So
yes.
I want this shit to stop.
I mean, I'm at the point of, although, with the way the cheating and the system and all that goes as far as voting, on some of this shit, I think the American people should have the right to make the vote. because our elected representatives are obviously not doing their damn job.
Well, here's the problem. A couple generations back, our parents or grandparents gave them the fucking permission to vote for us.
Right. I know. How do we take that back?
Good luck. Scream, bitch, holler. Go a George Washington route. I don't know.
Frustrating.
It is. And this is why this is so chaotic. What one can do, and this one specific oddball out of decades of this being the bartering chip, we're now going to take that bartering chip away from this one president because feelings.
Well,
Or
and that
now we're going to finally implement the Constitution the way it was written.
right.
That's my problem.
Well, and this should hold true then going forward. Nobody else should be able to do it.
Yeah, right. Are you kidding? That ain't gonna happen. But I'll tell you, this is again what I mean. They pick and choose when to enforce the Constitution. And it's bullshit. It should be consistent across the board. That's where I stand. Consistent across the board. If it's not right for one, it should not be right for another. If it's right for one, it should be right for all. It's the fucking Constitution. Really?
Well, you're saying that, previous presidents did what they did by playing with Congress the way the law requires. Trump is not willing to play and wants to be king. Oh, come on, Art. He doesn't want to be king. He wants to be dictator. There's a difference.
Well, if he was trying to be a dictator, you definitely would have some problems. Because ICE would be doing a lot worse.
And see, so if you're saying that he's playing with Congress, right, in the court, yeah.
And that's a frustration right there. Maybe we need some more justices to handle these cases.
Yeah, and not only that, look at who we have as justices. We have Dippity Doo, Ketanji Brown Jackson that can't even define what a woman is. So go figure.
That was Biden's fault.
Yeah, and we're going to let her figure out these types of cases. Okay. Make it make sense. And she's there for life. That's funny. That's really funny. And then you got the Dems saying, well, you know what? We don't like what the Republicans are saying, so we're going to pack the court. We're going to get more Democratic justices.
Well, the Republicans try to pack the courts too.
I know that. But I think that the Dems have been extremely vocal about it. I haven't heard the Republicans. I told you those little sons of bitches would be upstarting, didn't I?
Yeah, it's time. Not? It's this late at night. They're going to.
Didn't I tell you? Here we go. It's on.
Well, we are almost an hour past our original stop time. Our usual 2 hours.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we are. Boy,
2 hours and 48 minutes.
The last time I looked at the clock, it was 8:54 or a little after 9. I thought I didn't think we talked that long.
Well, this is a topic that needs to be kicked around and looked at from various perspectives because something's not adding up with the way our system is going.
Right.
And I know our system's corrupted. I know it is. The problem isn't really the lack of courts, it's the time and expense to bring a case. And people love to drag out court cases.
Oh, yeah. That, and then you have incompetent people. I mean, we need to dip in every once in a while, or when I listen to some of this bullshit that goes on, I'll try to save some of these clips where the justices, when you hear some of these people talk, I swear a third grader could be better than them.
Sorry, I gotta take my inhaler. But it's frustrating. I'm gonna be honest. It's ridiculously frustrating. And
And
again,
again,
I've been
we're
bitching
just
about this since I was 12.
yeah, and we're just two little teeny tiny little podcasters trying to figure this out.
But
And
we're asking
again,
questions that other people may not even think to look on or even think to ask themselves. And we're giving options and reading things and researching as we go. And the more you research, the more confusing it gets.
right? And everything, why is it that everything we look at is fucked up? Has there been one thing that we've looked at since we started this? It's going to be a year at the end of March. What the hell are you two doing? Get down off of there. What do you do? Oh, wait till I get up.
You
They just
sound like
went to
me when I'm dealing with what I dealt with my kids when they were little.
they just took the bag of potatoes that he just brought home and knocked them on the floor. Okay.
Well, of course. Didn't you know potatoes are toys?
Oh my Lord, help me. Please help me, somebody. Oh,
But no,
anyway.
I'm really
But
truly
has
curious
there
as to
been one
why
thing?
everything. Well, I know why it's all messed up because over time we have given more and more of our powers to the government to hold over our heads. And again, I didn't vote for them to do any of this. It was the people before me. I
Right,
know it wasn't my dad, but other people slowly voted to give these things away. It's $1 million to get the Supreme Court or 10K just to ignore it and move on. So 30 years go by before it might be worth trying to change. It's just funny how they picked Trump to be the time to change or enforce.
right, because they don't
That's
like
my
him.
that's my problem is that it's a pick and choose when they enforce. And yeah, it is expensive, but wouldn't it have been expensive still when it was the other people doing it? Why not get it nipped in the bud before it gets to this?
Right.
Does that not
Before
make sense?
it does to me.
I would rather it be taken care of right away so it doesn't happen again in
Then,
the future.
right.
And of course, though, we don't get a say in it. Congress has the say. So I'm just kind of at my wit's end with the way things are going. And again, this is something that I didn't even get a say in because the system was corrupted before I was even born.
Right.
We all know
I mean,
that.
I have to laugh at least on part of where in the tariffs where they say he can license them but not charge them $1. Okay, so for all of the licenses that we have to have, I don't think we should have to pay. Why do I have to pay for a driver's license? Why did I have to pay for a marriage license?
Because
Why?
it took up the court's time to have to go through and issue it, or the
Yeah.
DMV's
Uh-huh.
time to issue it. And yeah, I get it. It's well, Trump just made it made it a big enough issue to get the money and talent together. That's all. I think it's more
What
they just
talent?
didn't like him.
Yeah. I'm
Well, no,
all
from the
about talent.
Democrats to fight it
Yeah.
and drag it.
Right. Right.
And again, I still hold, this is insane. Like the founding fathers saw this coming, which is why they wrote the Constitution the way they did. And then us, our ancestors are just being the jackasses they are, decided to let it
Well,
go.
well, the Dems wanna ultimately, I believe if I'm correct, didn't Ketanji Brown Jackson say that the Constitution needs to go?
I've heard people say that kind of stuff, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if it was her, but I know I've heard a lot of the
Um,
Democrats kind of complain about it.
yep. Yep.
It's just, like I said, the
That
entire
it's out
system is
that it
jacked up.
that it's antiquated.
No, it's not. I will say, though, that the fact that it's basically a uniparty under the disguise of two separate names
Yes.
is,
Yes, I don't
and again, Oh, but Washington was the original one who said we shouldn't have parties. I
Right?
get that. But we also look at the damage we have with people playing that there are two parties just to pit people against each other.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they're behind closed doors, they're all on the same page. That's why all of them are wealthy. That's
Not
why
all
all
of
of them
them. There's some that
not
don't do matter with the stock
there
trading
are,
like that.
but that's few and far between. The majority have money. The majority have money.
And that's where I would hold that I agree. The majority of them just used it as a way to get insider trading to get rich.
Yep.
I don't argue that point. I don't. But we do have some senators and House of some representatives that live within the 140,000 or work outside of, well, some their wives or their kids work to help bring in income, but it really does suck. Ruth Ginsburg, Justice, thought we should apply the British common law. It's not a new problem. I did not know that about her. I did not know that. I don't.
There's, yeah. And the other thing is, there's no way that the two of us are going to know everything about everything. There's
And I'll
just
be the
no
first to
way.
admit when I don't know something.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much out there. There's so many laws. There's so many areas that, we're just bringing kind of like a overall general synopsis
And questions.
and questions, and trying to delve into subjects that, we're trying to provide you at least two to three sources, both left, center, right, of what's out there. We're not the be all end all. We don't have all the answers to this. We're just trying to bring to you what limited knowledge we have, what questions we have, what things you can
Concerns.
think about. Yeah, what you can think about, and just not go blindly into this stuff.
Because I will tell you right now, and as much as I've paid attention to politics over the years, my head hurts trying to keep up with the double standard bullcrap our politicians are doing. I'm
Yep.
really, really fed up with it. And I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass. I'm just fed up with all of this nonsense that people are being stupid about, and our Congress is really screwing us over about.
Yes, they are.
It's got to stop.
And everything is, oh, let's have an investigation. But nothing ever happens.
Strongly worded letters.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Strongly worded letters.
It's funny how the government gets more power, we get less, but we still have to pay more.
Yes.
Again, I'm just, for all of them saying there are no kings in America, and again, I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but have you looked at Congress lately?
Have you looked at your local government lately? How is it that my district, school district, was able to create a police department in the schools with a chief of police? And the residents did not get the vote on it.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Mm-hmm.
How? Why didn't they go? They could have went and they could have added one or two people onto the current police force for the
And put them
township.
at the school. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a waste of money.
Yeah, because that chief of police, if something were to happen, they still have to go to the township police.
Yeah.
If something were to happen, they have to call them for backup.
Redundant bureaucracy. Redundant
Yes.
bureaucracy.
Thank you.
The words are synonyms,
And
basically.
we didn't have a say, and our taxes went up substantially.
But you're supposed to have a say.
The bitch that got in to be the Yeah, the executive of the township raised property taxes substantially.
And my state's talking about getting rid of property tax on your first and primary residency if you own it. I'm at the
Um,
point where it's just insane. It's insane. It really, truly is insane. You pay all
and
that
here
money to
we go.
not get a say.
Right. Yep.
Hmm.
And here we go again on one topic. First off, we've had stuff that we haven't even covered for months. Months we've had stuff to cover. What today's show was to be, we had things to cover. And look, we're 3 hours into just talking about tariffs that I really don't know that much about.
Well, we learned some things while we were in the process.
Yeah.
We learned there's more
But
hypocrisy in our
that is
government than we realized before initially.
right. But that wasn't what our plan was. You know
No.
what I mean? So we're trying to, I don't know. It's frustrating because it's the more we delve into shit, the more we just find out it's really messed up, crazy B.
Evidently the school bang bang in Texas was handled by the school police department. There's like 2 or 3 of those in the last decade. Are we talking Uvalde? Because the local police did jack shit for that one.
Right.
Parents were about to bust in and deal with it on that one. It's just, again, this is where I keep holding. We have to fix things from the top and the bottom. Otherwise, all we're going to do is keep getting corruption in.
And that's what's happening. And as government gets bigger, which is what they wanted to do, could you imagine if the 80,000 new
IRS.
IRS
Yeah.
agents with guns
Armed.
would have been
Yeah.
hired?
I know.
Could you imagine?
But you know what's funny is our taxes still got done in a timely fashion this year.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. They can do it with a smaller group of people. They don't want to do it with a smaller group of people. It's really getting out of hand. It really is. I don't like the way this is going. Even, and I've said it many times, even if Trump were to do something and literally go full dictator mode, okay, I would stand and fight if I could stand. You know what I mean? I'm going to call it out.
Yep.
Just like I would anyone else. And Trump has towed that line for me. He came up and kicked it a couple times. He's tapping it with his toes. Brain fart. Yeah, it's okay. I have that a lot, as you know. I had a full zone out moment the other day.
Yeah, if anybody's interested, I just got a thing that came across. Speaker Mike Johnson rejects the request for Jesse Jackson to lie in honor in the Capitol.
Thank God. No one but government officials should have that honor. Presidents.
Mm-hmm.
Though, honestly, I'm sorry. That's where I stand. If they served our country in that format, in that fashion, then yes. But Jesse Jackson, he really didn't, in my opinion. But that's a whole other history ballgame.
You know, why not have George Floyd lie there? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
When would it ever end?
Yeah. Can't do that.
Right?
Cannot do that. I don't think they did that with anyone outside of congressional or presidential former presidents. I don't think they've ever done that for anybody else. I don't know. I will have to look into that one. That is a historical fact I do not know, so I will look into that. But I'm just, the level of government we've gotten at has gotten out of hand, and I don't Like you heard me. When Trump said he was deploying the National Guard, I'm like, the only way he can do that is to protect federal buildings in all these different cities. There's,
Right.
unless the state governor asks for help, or the mayor of that city, as in Washington, D.C., because they don't have a governor, um, I would absolutely have a fit. Because that is no different than kind of like what Lincoln did and during the Civil War, as we know. So I would absolutely have a fit. Now, is Trump going to? Well, he already said he's going to take advantage of the other laws, which he used in the first place, which in his first term, and he should have used in this because it made more sense. Why would the IEEP be a bad choice when he could have used the other ones, which Congress would have fought, but the Supreme Court would have had to rule in his favor because it's more fitting?
Right.
So, again, we could sit here and go back and forth about this and rehash it. The fact is, our entire system's fucked. That's what I've come to determine. It's fucked.
Yes, ma'am.
God send an asteroid, meteor, comet. Well, comets burn up, but still. Someone, I know you said you wouldn't flood the planet again, but there are other options. Good for Speaker Johnson. Jesse Jackson was never a government official. Yep. Absolutely agreed. So, oh, I want our government fixed. I wish I could run for office. I wish I could physically do the work. I would. Absolutely. God cure me. I'll go put forth an effort to fix the country. Dare them to come at me with some of this stuff. I will just look at them like they're retarded.
Well, the problem is, it's hard, you're just one person. You know what I mean? You don't have people that are, even if they have differing opinions on certain things, you don't have people of good faith that are willing to do the job.
Yeah.
You're just one out of, several hundred that are corrupt.
Oh, you got a good point there. Remember when the Supreme Court struck down Joe Biden's loan relief? AOC and other Dems openly said he should ignore it.
True.
But when
There you
Trump
go.
does this, it's bad.
Oh, that is a very good point.
I'm just saying. Where was Biden's trying to be king? Where was Biden's trying to be a dictator then?
I forgot about that.
I mean, it's just, the world is so messed up. It really is. It really, truly is. And this is what I mean. Like, Obama often skirted what the court said. Mom told me not to get involved with the family business, politics, or soldiering. I wouldn't have lasted 10 minutes in politics anyways. Yeah. It drives me nuts because here we are paying all these taxes into shit for nothing to actually get done.
Right.
I mean, here we are with the SAVE Act basically reinforcing what we already have on the books.
Right.
Like, why do we need it? We already have this shit on the books. And like I told you about my state, they actually scanned my ID before they could print off a ballot to me. So, make it make sense. Why? I mean, yeah, I get every state is in charge of how they run elections for federal and local stuff. And that's constitutionally written. That's not just whatever. It's not in the Constitution. It's not here. It's not there. Just whatever. We just accepted it. No, it's the Constitution gave the states the right to do that. Obama started all the executive order crapola with his pen and his phone. Yeah. Biden used the auto pen. Well, actually, I don't think he used it. I think everyone on the staff used it. So there's that too. But I am exhausted.
I hear you.
I really am. I say, screw it. These people are idiots. Fire them all. Start fresh. Farmer Joe, Jim Bob, everyone else who's an average person, go run for
Well,
office.
doesn't it sound like Restore Britain
It's what we need
is
to
what's
do.
needed,
I said that yesterday
right?
when we played that. Or was it the day before? Whenever we got to it. I absolutely agree.
Yesterday.
I absolutely agree. We need to go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of this shit. Sorry. Yawn coming in. But, yippee. Our government sucks, just like every other one, like I've been saying for years. So.
Right.
Well, you sound like you're about
All
to fall
right.
asleep.
Yeah, I'm just disgusted.
Oh, I think we all are at this point. I really believe we
Disgusted,
all are.
disappointed. Yeah, all of the above. And hungry.
I'm tired. My ass is beat. I'm done. Oh.
All right, ma'am. Well, everybody,
Art,
thanks for
I'll take the
joining.
first.
Go
Oh, Art says I'll take the
ahead.
first 536 people out of the necessary phone books. So you get
Mhm.
crackhead Dave down the road.
Yeah, there you go.
Are phone books even a thing? Are there enough phones
I
to even do a phone
say
book?
no. I actually watched a video of a dad that had his teenage daughter try to read a two-page letter in cursive.
Oh, that's
Okay.
funny.
And then he had her try to find a telephone number in a phone book. He
Hmm.
pulled out like the white or the yellow, I think it was the yellow pages. He pulled it out and threw it on the table, and she's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, are there even enough home phones anymore to have a phone book, a county
I,
phone book?
yeah, I still have one, a landline. They claim that you should have a landline in the event of an emergency when the
Does my
cell
house?
phone towers go
Hold on.
down.
I'm trying to think. Does my house? My house has to have a landline port.
Yes.
It does. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
But is it? Yeah, it might have it, but you have to have a
Nope. In my
telephone number.
state. Nope. In my state, you can use it to call 911
Okay,
in an emergency. Yes. Even if
gotcha.
power's out, you can. Well, I think power's
Use it.
out. Yes, you can
Okay.
just hook any phone to it. That's
Yeah.
a landline type phone, and use it for 911 calls only.
Right. And we had uh have it for old fashioned faxes for people that need it. So that's another story.
Hey, I can
But
still read a paper map.
so can I. I still have them. And in fact, I would have to pull it out. I have, oh, it's got to be from, I'll pull it out and check. I'll snap a picture of it. I have both the yellow pages and the white pages still
I'm pretty
from when
sure.
we.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure my son could figure out a phone book and a paper map. My
Yeah.
daughter, maybe the phone book. I don't know about the paper map. And she
Yeah.
made it very clear she never wants to drive. I'm like, I still want you to learn how to drive, whether you like it
Right.
or not. You're going to learn how to
Right.
drive at some point.
I actually bought a couple years ago Eric a really nice Rand McNally book of the United States map.
Oh, those. I remember those.
Yeah. So that way, again, when you can't ask Google Maps where to go, You could
Mm-hmm.
always pull out a map. That's all for the apocalypse. So,
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Now, getting people
uh-huh.
to compasses are easy. Um,
Yes.
GPS coordinates are hard for people. There are some people who
Yeah.
find that very hard. But
Right.
no, I absolutely. Oh,
I
Art
mean,
still has a landline.
yep. We we actually did maps in school. You had to know what all the symbols meant on a map and be able to solve map problems.
Yeah.
Now I don't think any of that's taught.
Hey, they've
The
given
whole
me
issue,
coordinates and I know how to find it on a map.
yeah. I mean, the whole issue with cursive is so that the claim is that they're erasing cursive so that they won't be able to read the Constitution in the future.
We have enough printed typed copies of it that aren't in cursive.
Right,
I mean, find a history book from the 80s. You have the
right.
whole damn thing in there.
Well, and I told you the story of Eric going to the bank and standing behind this kid, and he gets up there with a check, and she says, "You need to sign it." So he hands her the check, and she says, "You didn't sign it." He goes, "Yes, I did." And she's like, "No, you didn't." He's like, "Yes, I did." And they're arguing. And she goes, "No, you printed it. You did not write your name." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "You did not write your name in cursive." And he's like, "I don't know how to do that." They
Yeah.
refused to cash his check, and he left
Hmm.
all pissed off.
I taught both of my
So,
kids how to sign their names in cursive
yep.
for a reason. Blue Rose says,
Hmm.
funny story. My sis went by Google Maps and ended up in Mexico. Art, yes, but where is true north in relation to the magnetic north? We're in your area,
In your
lol.
area.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I actually do need a compass and to help with that. Um,
Right.
or the stars. You can use the stars and the compass to help
I
kind of get
I
a
always
basic idea.
That's one thing I suck at is looking up at the stars.
Oh, I can
People
navigate
are,
quite well with the stars.
I mean, I know the North Star, but all that other shit, here's Capricorn, here's Aquarius, they all look alike to me. So I
Anything in the
suck at
northern
that part.
hemisphere, I know most of the constellations.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the names of them. I couldn't pick them out to save my life.
And by the way, Art, you spelled where wrong. You put were. But were is gonna nitpick here. True north is about 14 degrees off magnetic north here. I'm not sure because I'm in Michigan. I know it's not too far off. I think it's a little bit less than 14 degrees in Michigan. I can't remember because I don't live there anymore and I haven't figured out where the hell it is in Kentucky. But, I don't plan on ever going north unless I
I
have
was
to get
just
rid of the
say
zombies and I need to live in an igloo.
exactly. I was just gonna say, does it really matter?
Uh, I know it's getting late. Shut up. I'll go to
Tell
bed
him
soon.
tomorrow's Saturday. He doesn't have to work.
Yeah, but my son does. Or
Oh,
no,
does he?
no, Buddy has
He
tomorrow
has
off. It's
his own
Sunday he
room.
works.
He has his own room. Send
Tomorrow
him up
is not
there.
Sunday. It's still Friday. And my son is up in his room already. He forgot his
Oh,
scooter at work, and we had to swing by his work to grab his scooter.
okay. If I would have been him, I would have convinced you to ride me to work on Sunday to get my scooter.
Oh, using a stick and find north, find your directions. Yes,
Hey, don't laugh. That's how they found our well.
yeah,
The kid,
dowsing
he came
rods.
out with a divining rod. Yes, he did.
Yep.
Both
Eh,
wells. We had two wells dug, and he
mm-hmm.
used a divining rod.
Yes, it works. I believe it or not. Yeah, I call them dowsing rods. Same
Mm.
thing, but different name. Um, I was taught in the because I know in the north, in the upper northern area where we lived, 90% of our winds came from the west. It was very rare we got easterly winds. So whichever way
Mhm.
the trees were blowing to was east, and the wind was coming from the west. That's how I was able to find my way around. quite easily. And that's just something I've known from a very young age. You can also determine water growth by and sunlight by moss on trees. So
Right.
you know, if it's dark and you feel moss on one side of a tree but not the other, you can assume that region gets more sunlight, which will give you an idea where to watch for the sun to come up from to determine east and west.
West. Yep.
And once you know east or west, you can determine your other
Figure
points
out
from
north
there.
and south. Yep.
Or the general north and south. Won't be exact, but close enough. Find water, keep following it, you'll eventually find a town or something. Or a cave and a bear that's really pissed off.
Same with following railroad tracks too.
Yes, railroad tracks usually run east and west. So there's that. But
Well,
yeah.
and there should have been a rail system north and south in California, but who knows what Gavin Newsom did with your money? Just saying,
Oh, that is so true too.
right?
Uh yeah.
And why is it we don't have a high rail system in the United States
Because
that
no one would
goes from
respect it. They just piss and shit in it and let dogs and animals in and throw the wrappers everywhere, start stabbing each other, setting people on fire. That's why.
I mean, when you take a look at like what Japan has, that it just is phenomenal.
Yeah, but Japan has a very strict cultural acceptance, and
Right.
people playing too loud of music from their cell phones can
Get
get you
into
ticketed.
trouble. Right. But I think we could kick it up a notch or two,
Uh,
right?
um, I mean, we would have to make some stronger adherence to social acceptance at that point, and people would
I
have
mean,
to
it,
get over it.
yeah, right. They just, things get worse and worse. That's all.
Yeah. Or my
Anyway,
dad didn't have to drop me off in the woods. I went on my own, and he just didn't give a shit.
yeah, I
What
never
was?
had,
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I never had a problem with directions, and I was never worried about getting lost. I always knew that there would be a way out.
Well, see, the
So
one
that's
that threw me off was out in the middle of a lake, 2 or 3 miles from land, and you can't see land.
right.
That one threw me off. When had me, he just said, "Okay, drive us back," and I was a deer in the headlights.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, we had a compass on there, and I knew the general direction in which to go, and it got us back. It got us closer to land, so I could get us back to where we needed to go. If I have land markers or like something to go off of, but in the middle of a lake where it was hardly a windy
Oh,
day.
yeah.
There was barely
Right.
any wind, so I couldn't really determine wind direction. I'm just sitting there. It's high noon, and he's telling me, "Get us back." Thanks, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So as long as I got something to go on, but yeah, take me out to the woods. I'll be fine. Hell, I'll make friends with the animals and then just stay there.
All right, Crazy V, I'm done. I need to go get something to eat.
I need to sleep. I am
All
beat.
right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining Rex Sisters. Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for staying with us as long as you did and trying to keep us on the right path with information. But hey, we'll just keep learning along with you guys. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Don't forget, starting next week, we're going to have programming changes. Monday and Wednesday will be 7 to 9, Tuesday and Thursday, 3 to 5, along with baby JJ. And this Friday, however, we will be covering the Clinton and
Thursday
their
and Friday. Yep.
Epstein. Yeah, Thursday and Friday. But Friday, where we would normally be dropping a video, will actually be live that day. And then Crazy B and I will have to figure out. I don't even know what. Oh, that's on. So Wednesday, March 11th, I'm having surgery. I don't know. out of the hospital bed and whatever.
We'll see how
I
you
don't know.
feel after
Maybe
surgery to determine whether we go live or not.
yeah, and we'll play that by ear. So that'll be one of those 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, will be a play it by ear, and we'll be live or we won't be, right? That's our option. We'll be
That's
live
me
or
agreeing.
we'll be live or we won't be. I don't know what time. I won't know what time surgery is till the day before, like around 3 or 4 o'clock. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll be interesting because Tuesday will be 3 to 5, and I probably will get the call while we're live. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we can
But
mute for us. You can mute for a
yeah,
second, and I'll just
yeah,
sing a song.
I'll probably just need those 3 days. This shouldn't be a biggie.
Well, at least the Clinton case will be the Clinton testimonies will be easy to cover. We don't got to do no
Yes.
research. Just find a YouTube that's not going to give us a copyright issue, and go from there.
Yeah, and we got to make sure there's no freaking music playing anywhere where
I mean,
Paramount
unless
can come
Congress
after us.
has unless Congress starts using
Yeah.
background music, I don't think we'll have that problem.
Well, there was a couple
Jeopardy
things we
playing,
played.
Jeopardy
Yeah.
playing while the Clintons are trying to come up with an answer.
Yep. Who knows what the hell will go on, but we just need to make sure we stay away from Paramount. That's all.
Yeah, anything like that.
They're
I'm pretty sure there's a
freaking
couple ones we can use, like the Forbes one.
yeah,
They tend to not give us
yeah,
problems when they use coverage and stuff.
yeah.
So,
They're freaking crybabies. But
oh,
all right, so we will attempt, yeah, right, to do more coverage that we had planned Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But hey,
we do some pretty
who do
deep
you
questions and we dive into it.
who do you know that can take one little video or one little article and drag it out to be
Three
almost
hours
three and a half
and
hours?
yeah,
Three and a half
26
hours.
minutes and counting.
I have
Yeah.
28. So just keep
Oh no,
talking and we'll make
I'm
it.
looking at the timer in this studio.
Oh, in
3
the
hours and
studio.
26 minutes and 47,
Okay, well
48, 49.
yeah, well you want to count until we get to 10:30, and then we can say for sure we did a 3.5 hour
No,
live.
no, I'm ready to go to
No.
sleep right now. I could pass out
All
before
right.
then. I start counting, I'm going to think they have me under anesthesia.
All right, everybody. Have a good night, Crazy Bee. Oh, I should get. I didn't drink any of the rest of this moonshine shit that did jack shit. I need the 100 proof stuff that I have in the freezer. Oh, speaking of the freezer, yeah. So I didn't even finish telling you about that fiasco. I was talking to Crazy Bee when I headed from the old kitchen to the new kitchen. And I don't know why, but I happened to glance and I looked and the freezer door was open. And I went, oh my God, you have got to be kidding me. Jake slept over on Wednesday night. So Thursday morning, Eric got waffles out of the old freezer that really freezes and never shut the door tight. Everything for over 24 hours, that door was open. Everything is ruined. Everything is defrosted, meats, vegetables, Cool Whip, ice
Ready to beat
cream.
someone down.
He's lucky he was at work. That's all I have to say. But as I said to him, all the more reason now that all the old shit's now going. So
Uh-huh.
when the washer goes, the old refrigerator and stove is going with it if I have to push it out myself. So that's what I'll be
I
doing
got a
tomorrow.
visual of you trying to push a big old freezer out the door.
Oh, I will. Trust me. The front door to the street isn't that far. I'll, get a little bit of anger going. Okay,
It'll be
so
laying in
before
the
we
yard for
go,
a week before it finally gets moved
oh
out.
yeah. Well, I told you I really would like to keep it on the front porch and then be like looking like low life trash people,
No one will
with
ever
the
rob you.
freezer. When people drive by, they see this big old refrigerator freezer because that sucker. I mean, the drinks are so cold. I'm telling you, if I drank beer, oh, it would be perfect.
Listen to this. D, I woke up to find milk on the kitchen counter and I was sober the night before. Art.
Okay, so what are we going for? Are we going for apple pie, banana pudding? What's this? White chocolate, strawberry, or some kind of pecan? Which one are we drinking?
Oh, pecan or the white chocolate strawberry? Is it white chocolate strawberry or white chocolate and strawberry? Separate.
Hold on, let me get it out. That's the first one that's up. We were supposed to have this finished by 4. Now I can't get the damn thing off, so we might not be doing any of it. Oh, did you hear that? I just broke it.
No.
Okay. So it is dun dun dun. It is strawberry. No, it's white chocolate strawberry cream.
Okay. Blue Rose says banana pudding or white chocolate.
Banana pudding. Ugh, okay.
I agree with you. The
But
banana pudding. Ugh.
you know what? Why don't we get that one done and out of the way? Because I would hate to ruin it and have that be the last one that I have to try. Okay, I'm afraid. I'm really afraid. All right,
Let me
let's.
know how bad it is.
Okay, I'm not even gonna smell it. I'm just gonna take a sip. Hold on. Here we go. Oh my God, I'm ready to vomit. I can smell it as soon as I took the lid off.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much straight alcohol.
No, it's the banana.
Oh,
Oh, there's a candy. It's the banana smell. It's not the alcohol smell. What is that flavor? Oh, there's a candy that has a banana flavor to it. Oh, I know what it is. It's that banana taffy pole. You know what I'm talking about? The
yes.
taffy candy
Laffy
that's
Taffy.
yellow. Yes, like Laffy Taffy or the little squares.
Uh huh.
What were they called?
The now and laters. Are you thinking the now
Yes,
and
now and
laters?
late. That's exactly it. Now and laters or Laffy Taffy. It's not bad.
I'm not a fan of
As
banana
soon
pudding to begin with.
I
That's just
like
not my favorite.
it's not my favorite, but it's not bad. I think
Arts.
pistachio's disgusting.
Oh, I love pistachio. Art says if it wasn't for the meds, I'd vote Gentleman Jack, but I don't have a death wish.
Hey, I already took my meds. I'm on for the death wish, so I'm not going to drink the whole thing. I just took a sip. We'll continue that. We'll save that. It's only 35. Is this one 35 proof? Hold on.
I believe so.
It is. Oh, enjoy it. Oh, this is good. 12 months worth of once you open it, you have to drink it within a year. Interesting.
I am notorious for drinking that stuff straight up all in one night.
Yeah. 35 proof. That's nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah. In the big scheme of things, right?
Yeah, that's the way
All
I
right,
see it.
Crazy B. I just ruined your outro again.
That's all right.
Okay.
So I'll do the y'all stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. Well, not really sober tonight, but safe and sane. And we'll catch y'all tomorrow.
No, we won't. I'm
No, we
not
won't.
working
No,
tomorrow.
on the next one. Tired. I'm going to bed. Fuck this. I need sleep. Y'all, we'll catch you when we catch you. How's that?
Good night.